Were you, or were you not, on a gay cruise?
No, you're 120% dick thing.
Everybody at that age, they're sperminator.
Yeah.
Because we don't care about anything else. We're a walking hard on looking for a hole.
That's. I have to say you're right on that one. Oh, my God.
A stiff breeze comes through the room and you return the favor.
Gonorrhea. No. Somewhere on the outside of this building, there is a hole where squirrels come in.
Better than a hole where dicks come in.
Yeah, better than that.
Going down the stairs to wash the laundry. What the hell? Shh. Pizza. Stop! Stop it now! I order you to stop! I'm still touching myself.
Yeah!
All young bitches want to do is pop pills, smoke weed, get drunk, lay around, suck dick, eat hot Cheetos, charge they phone, get a sew and weave, twerk, be bisexual, eat McDonald's, wash they pussy in the sink, lie, take selfies, and talk shit through Wi-Fi because they phone never on.
I think washing they pussy in the sink is my favorite part. The Vietnamese trade in dongs. Figuratively and literally, I'm sure.
Oh, my God, that's hilarious.
I did decide to look it up. 500,000 dongs is a good night for Pop's ex.
Like most women, he's an emotional thinker.
Good God.
I mean, that's part of the problem we're having now in our society is we have a bunch of emotional thinkers that want the world to, to fall in line with their emotions. That's not... look, reality doesn't give a shit about emotions.
It's my lived truth. Fuck your lived truth.
No, it's not. It's your perspective.
Kiss my ass.
Literally like, hey, Sergeant Pop, you got to turn your bear suit. I'm like, over my dead body. No. Just give me a statement of charges. Yeah. You're never getting this back. Yeah. You can suck it.
I'm going to wear this with my Russian coat.
you will bury me in this. Hey! Why you got to fucking be like that, man?
Because I'm an asshole, and I learned from the best. I'm sitting across from him, and I'm pointing at you with all four fingers.
All right, first of all, the Russian jacket is World War II surplus.
I'll send you a picture of it, Sarge.
Yeah, okay.
I got you standing wearing it with holding two giant buckets like you just collected all the chum from behind the dump dumpster at the bar and you're going to go home and make ice cream out of it.
What's up, savages? Terrence Pop here with another episode that actually is live from the lair. And today, we have to continue the subject of what exactly is a possibility for the future if the government should convert itself into a failed state. We already covered the Banana Republic. We're going to take it one step beyond that. All right. We have examples that have happened in recent history. Some of them are incredibly egregious. And if you're one of those individuals out there who says that could never happen here, you're out of your goddamn mind. We are all the same evil, hairless monkeys, no matter where we are on this ball of mud slinging through space. The only difference is some people are more melanin challenged than others. Some people are good swimmers. Some people aren't. Some people are good sprinters. Some people aren't. It is what it is. All right, now, we are less than 6 months away from this so-called election. We saw what happened at the last one in 2020, and we also saw it play out again in 2022. I have a feeling they're going to do everything in their power to not have an election this year and try to maintain what they have, because they know the minute the right gets in there, they're going to clean house. And I hope I see it. Now, I have to be a realist here. A lot of the shit that we have going on, we voted ourselves into it over the past 25 years. And more than likely, the old adage, you can vote yourself into communism and socialism, but you have to shoot your way out. I think we are on the precipice of releasing freedom seeds into the wild, because there's 80 million, maybe 100 million Americans out there who know this is absolute bullshit. They have lost faith in the government, the president, even law enforcement, and the judicial system because of the craziness we're seeing play out. And at some point, they're going to not ever going to comply again. And the left is going to have to try to use violence to get us to comply. And I'm sure that's going to work out well, because Americans really don't handle that well. I'm just saying. All right, now, Blake's not here. We got Battle Dwarf on station, and we have the button-pushing monkey head, Jimmy Bones.
What's going on, everybody?
All right. Where do you want to begin there, Battle Dwarf?
Oh, my God. We're all screwed.
We are.
Look, there's a lot of stuff going on out there all over the place, as everybody knows. And I know that's a hyper generalized statement. But the reality right now is we've got people here in the state of Michigan that are being arrested just for investigating elections. You've got criminal investigations against the son of the president, and he's probably going to get probation. You've got an ex-president who apparently slid $130,000 to an adult film star who was like a D-lister, and he's going to go to prison for 136 years for 34 misdemeanors. You've got food processing factories blowing up everywhere. We've got trains derailing. We're being flooded with illegal invaders from every possible country, and we're going to get to some of those a little bit later, because the ones that are coming here are particularly fun. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet.
Yep.
Basically, the wheels are coming off, and they're coming off quickly. And where did my thing go? Oh, Jimmy, did you push the button and I pushed the button at the same time?
Nope.
What are you looking
We're
for?
on stage now.
No. We're where we need to be right now.
Okay.
So this is the Encyclopedia Britannica's definition of the failed state, and I want you to listen to this real quick, because it's going to sound hauntingly familiar. A failed state is a state that is unable to perform the two fundamental functions of the sovereign nation state in the modern world system. It cannot project authority over its territory and peoples, and it cannot protect its national boundaries. The governing capacity of a failed state is attenuated such that it is unable to fulfill the administrative and organizational tasks required to control people and resources, and can provide only minimal public services. Its citizens no longer believe that their government is legitimate, and the state becomes illegitimate in the eyes of the international community. Are you with me so far?
Yep.
A failed state is composed of feeble and flawed institutions. Often the executive barely functions,
Yeah.
while the legislature, judiciary, bureaucracy, and armed forces have lost their capacity and professional independence and their professionalism. A failed state suffers from crumbling infrastructures, faltering utility supplies and educational and healthcare facilities, and deteriorating basic human development indicators such as infant mortality and literacy rates.
Yep. And the literacy rates have been going in the toilet since, I don't know, the late
20
80s.
years now. For
I would say
really
the late
bad-
80s in the real bad cities.
Yeah.
And then it grew out like a infestation,
Yes.
including math.
Yes, it was deliberate. Somebody was talking about that online today, how people were doing advanced calculations with slide rules today.
Yeah.
Most kids don't even know what a slide rule is. One guy was talking about he found a math book from like the 30s and tried to solve some of the equations in there with a calculator.
Yep.
And couldn't do it, didn't know how. And he considered himself fairly decent at math.
Well, apparently he's been lied to.
So, failed states create an environment of flourishing corruption and negative growth rates where honest economic activity cannot flourish.
Say that one more time.
Where honest economic activity cannot flourish.
And what state pops in your mind when you hear that? California.
California is in an advanced state of decay, as is Washington State
And New York.
and New York.
Yes.
I would wager Atlanta, Georgia is as well.
I would say every city that had a summer of love
Mm-hmm.
in 2020 is going to fail,
Yes.
in my opinion.
The funny thing is, and I work downtown Detroit, and I deal with downtown Detroiters on the daily now. Detroit has sort of entered a state of suspended animation with its decay.
Well, they already butt fucked themselves in the dick hole after the riots, and then Coleman Young got in.
1968, yeah.
And Coleman Young was there for 20 some odd years?
Yes.
He ran out all the big business. Yeah. The reason why all the suburbs around Detroit are were flourishing for years is because all of the workers that were in Detroit said, fuck you, this is bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Just literally a couple miles down the road, they're in another city, they set up shop, it's cheaper, there's less headaches.
Yep. Most of Detroit, when I was a young boy, most of Detroit was white. When we were young,
mm-hmm.
There a lot of the areas around Gratiot, maybe, and the Lower West Side, those were black. But East Detroit, there were a lot of Puerto Ricans there as well. And
you got
Hamtramck,
Mexican town there too.
That's on the west side.
Yeah, they have good restaurants. It's not.
That's true.
It's not knock them. And
that's true.
Those
Jose's
servers
Tacos.
have nice chichis.
Jose's Tacos.
They have nice chichis. I went down there.
The Mexican 3D baby printers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice
chichis.
Those are quality.
That's why I like Latina women. I'm just saying.
That's true. That's true. Anyway, the rest of the cities in the U.S., the rest of the big cities, Minneapolis is basically Mogadishu now.
Yeah.
It is to the point where you can't walk down the street if you are white in many cities. New York, Minneapolis, Chicago, L.A., Seattle are all in this mess. Houston and Dallas don't seem to have gone that far just yet. But this failed state, I mean, this describes the United States of America right now.
I mean, listen. All right. Just 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Actually, it was a little longer than that. When I was homeless, I lived on a budget of about $480 a month.
That's about 15 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. I lived out of my car.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally had to eat off the dollar menu at McDonald's, Burger King, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
Even off the Del Taco menu, which I really love. I couldn't do that today. With how much it is for fast food now, I would starve.
Yeah.
I literally would have to buy food in bulk and cook it somewhere to be able to eat.
Yeah.
That was 15 years ago.
Yep.
And as little as 5 years ago, there was still the dollar menu. It was a little bit more expensive. I would say like a nipple and a cunt hair.
It was like the 250 menu.
Yeah, it went up a little bit. But now it's just astronomical, especially when you have, states playing around with the minimum wage.
There are places in California where a Big Mac is like $16.
Yeah, you can go suck it, man. I mean, I'm not going to pay that kind of money for a hamburger that smells like, a baby diaper.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
that's not going to happen.
No.
That's one of the things you need to start looking out for is food. But this particular episode that we got going here is on the downfall of these big cities. When the big cities start to fall, if you live in or too close to one,
50 miles.
You have
if If you're inside 50 miles, you are within range of the daily scavengers until they run out of gas. And then it's
That's not going to take very long, though.
No, I know.
That's not going to take very long, and there are things you can do to mitigate that if you live within a reasonable distance. When these cities fall, people don't understand how fragile the systems are unless you went through one of the big blackouts, like in 2003 or something like
2012, 2000.
2012, yeah.
There's been a few of them. I was actually heavily involved in the one in 2003 because it happened during the summer while I was an AT, a 3-week AT when I was in the Michigan National Guard. And the blackout happened. We got extended for another 3 weeks, and we were driving diesel fuel and generators to hospitals. We were, basically assisting the police, not by patrolling, but by presence parking. In areas so people would see that there's still authority here. We did a lot of that. Even though we didn't have any ammo, there's not fuck all we could. Well, I could stick you with a bayonet. I usually carried one of those and 5 rounds of live ammo everywhere.
Now, this is just no electricity. That you're talking about here now. When a city goes down, you're talking no electricity, no gas, no water, no sewage systems, toilets backing up.
Nobody's taking
really
the garbage.
fast. Nobody's taking the garbage out. Nobody's taking the bodies out. Rats will multiply incredibly rapidly. Diseases will start to spread. You're looking at typhus, dysentery, cholera,
rabies from the rats.
Rabies from the rats.
Listen, whenever you have a bloom of little mammals, right behind that is a bloom of rabies.
And anything else that they bring with them. The ticks will bring, you can get plague going if you don't have any systems at all. Any little cut that you get in an environment like that, if you can't keep it clean, you're going to get an infection. Once you get that infection, if you can't treat that infection with antibiotics or something like that with a quickness, you're looking at sepsis. Once you have sepsis, unless you can get to a modern hospital where the lights, the water, the generator, and everything else is running,
you'll probably die.
You're
correct. And actually, if you're a supporter for the Redonkulas Regiment, I just did a whole supporter stream on Sunday. I covered a lot of these subjects for the supporters, and I gave them all the links. Where to Green Beret Express, any medications you need to stock up on, how to get your hands on antibiotics. Granted, they have pictures of fish on them, but it's the same shit. It still works.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yes.
I need to I need to get some of that from you, actually.
You need antibiotics?
Yeah, I need antibiotics. I need to redo my medic bag. I had a really good trauma bag, but somewhere
before you
along the
leave
line.
here, give me your home address. I'll write it down, and then I'll just have it delivered to your house.
You've been to my house. Why don't you have my home address?
I don't remember it. I know how to get there.
This is what damaged thinking meat looks like.
Yes.
This is what damaged thinking meat looks like. So that's just the beginning of when a city starts to go off the rails. And this failed state thing that I'm talking about here is, in fact, what is going to precipitate our urban centers really coming off the rails completely. This is actually kind of tough to talk about because this is actually our country, and I never thought we'd be here.
Yeah.
I, honest to God, thought that the U.S. was the one place that this couldn't happen.
No, hang on. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
At least I'll be honest.
Do it.
I've been getting visions of this since I was in middle school. I remember, I just knew that this was going to happen at some point in my life, and I have done nothing but prepare for it since I was 12 years old.
Yeah, but you're a fucking freak.
I know. And listen, when I used to compete as a fighter, I would fight, some different individuals from different religions and what have you. In the back of my mind, I'm like, these are nice guys, but at some point I'm going to have to hunt them down and kill them.
Probably. Yeah.
All right. Now, I hope that never happens.
True story.
Okay. I'm just saying that I've been having visions and about what's going to take place for a long time.
Yeah. So I have been in a major city, Seoul, Korea, when a monsoon hit and it literally rained sideways for 7 days, and the Han River rose 103 feet through the middle of the city.
Oh, nice.
We lost power for like 3 weeks. Fortunately, we were Army. We went,
Send the engineers over to the housing area.
and we got our stuff going almost immediately. And we did the military thing where we had the assembly lines of food to the families and kids and everything, and got all of our stuff squared away, and then went out and started helping. But at the time, I was a liaison for civil affairs, and my responsibility was First Corps, which was on the DMZ, Area 1.
Yeah.
Well, I went up there, and these floods had removed whole villages. I mentioned that one night. And along the DMZ, where 1 tank and 2 tank were with 2nd Infantry Division, these waters were so powerful that they had picked up whole connexes of tank ammo and thrown them hundreds of yards.
The power of water.
Yeah.
Be water, my friend.
The mines along the DMZ were now, nobody knew where they were.
Nice.
The Korean Army's response was to line up recruits shoulder to shoulder with sticks and have them walk very slowly.
That's not going to work. You have to get on your face and do the 45-degree probe. And if you fuck up, it's going to blow up in your face.
I know. Somehow they never set one off.
Well, here's
they
the thing.
found mines everywhere, but they never set one off.
But the thing is if you go in the Army and you're an E1 in the infantry, that is your job. That's one of them.
I've done it.
Another one is taking off your NBC mask to see if the area is clear.
Yes.
Yeah. You are completely expendable and disposable as a man in the United States straight leg infantry. Straight up.
Yes. So what has this got to do with the urban areas? Well, meanwhile, back in Seoul, the guy who had responsibility for that was a guy named Mike. And he and I are talking back and forth. And for the first 72 hours, the city of Seoul, which is basically New York, but with a lot more Koreans and kimchi, was absolute bedlam. People just standing in the streets with water up to their waist, crying, stuff floating away, houses just going, because the water eroded the foundation that quickly.
Yep.
All through a major metropolitan city. And for that first 72 hours, it was pandemonium. That's what it's going to look like for the first 72 hours. And if you don't have an infrastructure, Korea had one. Their military is actually pretty efficient at getting together and doing stuff because they're like worker ants.
Yep.
So that saved them. But the next phase is the Zimbabwe phase, where all of your infrastructure has collapsed. You've gone through your 72 hours of pandemonium. Now, anybody who's a strong man or anybody who has like a criminal gang mentality, they're going to start going.
It's called the pack up.
Maybe I become warlord.
And they pack up. Exactly.
Yep.
And they will start to organize their little area. And then they'll start to take over. Then they'll start to control resources. Then they'll start to kill people to make their wishes known. And they will do this. A hyper advanced version of this can be seen in Haiti.
Yeah.
With barbecue.
Yeah.
Literally eating people.
Yeah. He's cooking and eating his victims.
Yes. He's literally cooking and eating
Now,
his victims.
that's the type of mentality that the Democrats have been importing into this country for the past 5 years. So get ready for fun and games.
Yeah. Are we... Oh, the Atlantic doesn't want us to read this story, so I'm going to take it
and put it
and
on.
say Command C.
Move it over to what archive.today. There it is. There we go.
Don't need to save it again. Americans don't really know what urban collapse really looks like. That's absolutely true. If you've seen Picture of a Lost City, maybe in the pages of National Geographic, where you also see jungle titties, or in the, it was when I was a kid.
I know, I was the same way.
Yeah, absolutely. Or in the first Tomb Raider movie, you're probably looking at the crumbling temples and immense empty canals of Angkor Wat, the first capital of the Khmer Empire in Cambodia, blah, 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 etc. Angkor is widely known in Asia. Europeans became obsessed with it after the French explorer Henry Mouat discovered the place in 1860. Well, he rediscovered it, technically. Described Angkor as a lost city in a past fairy tale. I'm going to skip through this little thing of Angkor Wat here, but this myth continues to shape public understanding of urbanism. A century and a half later, it haunts news stories about pandemic flight from Manhattan and San Francisco and is the unspoken subtext of anxious questions about whether Detroit and New Orleans, cities battered by economic or ecological catastrophes, are at risk of dying. Now, I drove through Ninth Ward a year after Katrina hit.
It's still fucked up.
And it was still gone.
No.
Hurricane David hit in 1991 or 92.
I don't remember. I remember the Katrina disaster.
Well, the point is, I was in Miami between Katrina and Wilma. I got back from the Army right there that week between the hurricanes. There was a city between Miami and Homestead heading southwest toward the Keys called Naranja.
Uh-huh.
And in 1991, the hurricane wiped that out. And it is literally scrubbed down to the pavement.
Wow.
It's gone.
It's gone. They never rebuilt it.
They never rebuilt it. This was 2005.
Wow.
14 years later. That whole area is just leveled flat.
It's 19 years later.
Yeah. Well, it is 19 years later now.
Yeah. But fuck.
But at the
that's
time.
fucked up. And you know what? I mean, that's gonna happen again, because guess what? We have such a huge deficit that if we see cities go into rubble or, become uninhabitable, we don't have the money or the resources to rebuild them, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Now, out along the area that I live toward, which goes into our farming country, there's a lot of new development going in there. And nobody likes it because it's just going to screw traffic for us. But it is because the people are starting to get out of the urban areas. The last of the white people that live in there are trying to get out.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the new Indians that are coming in from the tech sectors, they make enough to buy houses in those areas. So we're starting to see some of that. It's very bizarre to see. What's a good Indian name? I don't know.
Sikhs.
Yeah.
A Sikh.
I like the Sikhs. The
Yeah.
Sikhs are actually decent people.
Yes.
Anyways, weird to see an Indian guy in a bright red Tesla driving through farm country. He has never looked more out of place in his life.
I mean, a third thumb.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Yep.
Having witnessed a decline in U.S. cities and fortunes over the past year, many American commentators are predicting the dissolution of entire communities too eagerly. Having spent the last several years researching a book about ancient and abandoned cities, I've come to realize, this is the author of the Atlantic article talking, come to realize that the urban collapse is a modern-day version of an apocalypse prophecy. It's always lurking just behind the corner, seductive and terrifying, but it never quite happens. Lost city anxieties, like the ones aroused by the pandemic, result from misunderstanding of what causes cities to decline.
But hang on.
Guess what?
He's saying it's a myth that never happens. It does happen.
Yes.
We found the ruins.
Yes.
We know it happens.
Yes. What this is one of these liberal pie in the sky authors who's that can never happen here. He's a perfect example of it.
Well, there's the Toltecs, the Mayans, the Aztecs, the old
all of
Olmecs.
those civilizations, by the time the Europeans showed up, and there's going to be people out there who don't like this, and I don't care, and there's going to be people who go, "You're racist," and I don't care about that either.
No, you're an istophobe igot. It covers everything.
Istophobic.
Istophobe igot.
Okay, I'm good with that. These were declining civilizations. In archaeological terms, they were described as sunsetting civilizations.
Mm-hmm.
They had reached their zenith, and now 100, 200 years after their peaks were in the decline by the time the Europeans showed up.
Correct.
And in many cases, they had never progressed to a Metal Age culture. They had never progressed to a Bronze Age or an Iron Age culture. They were still technically Stone Age.
Correct. Even though in the UP and the northern part of Michigan, there are copper mines that are 15,000 years old.
Iron mines too.
Yeah.
There's pig iron mines all over there.
We're going off topic.
We are going all off topic. Anyway, this individual here with this article from The Atlantic is just tragically wrong. It can't happen here. There are whole sections of Detroit that have already transitioned all the way through to the current Angkor Wat stage.
Correct.
I can take you through areas just south of Hamtramck near the DeQuinder Cut.
Yeah.
That are, it looks like ancient ruins.
Well, also, let's be real here. There are whole city blocks that are nothing but green fields now. That all the buildings
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Burned down, torn down.
Yep.
And they're actually growing stuff there now, or trying to grow stuff in some of these places.
Which is what the primitive cultures did that the Europeans came and found.
Like in 1946, they were calling Detroit the Paris of the West.
Yes.
It had almost 3 million people here, 2.8 million people.
Now we're down to around 780,000, I think.
No, it's fluctuating between 200 and 450,000. They want to keep it at the higher level for tax purposes, but in reality, Detroit is, 10-15% of what it once was.
I can tell you with absolute certainty that there is no real tax base among the average citizens in Detroit. About half of the city is on welfare.
Correct.
And drawing EBT, food stamps, WIC, what have you, which is another sign of a failed nation state because they're literally paying people just to be there.
To breathe air.
Yeah.
Yeah. And guess what?
And squeeze out fornication trophies.
When the state fails, you're going to have a bunch of people with no water, no food, no security,
all of the illegal
shelter, all the illegal aliens. It is going to be a clusterfuck shit show.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be really.
If you think my zombie apocalypse videos were bad, you just wait.
Well, let's improve the flow here and take it on to the Rwandan genocide because
now, when I read this, all right, now I'm familiar with this when it first happened, but I didn't keep up with it. I was absolutely shocked at how fast it played out. Like we're talking within 2 weeks, millions of people hacked to death with machetes.
When we were gearing up to go to Algeria, we were at, where's 173rd at? Is that Sigonella?
173rd Airborne?
Yeah, in Italy. They're in Italy.
They're in Italy. I don't know what city they're in, though.
I can't remember if it's Sigonella or... Anyway, we were gearing up to go to Algeria. We were just going there for a few weeks to do some stuff. And we ran into some group guys who were just coming back from Africa. And they're like, dude, they told us one horror story after another about this stuff here, what these people will do to each other. The Rwandan genocide. Don't think that'll come here. It's already here. Africans from Senegal, Congo,
all over Africa are here.
Rwanda, and and these people they do not have a concept of our moral code or our moral structure. It's not that they don't have morals. It's not that they don't have any kind of a conscience. They don't even have a concept of these things. It doesn't occur to them. They just do whatever they want.
Or whatever they need to do.
Yeah. During the 94 Rwandan genocide, also known as the genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda, members of the Hutu ethnic majority in the East Central African nation of Rwanda murdered as many as 800,000 people. They didn't starve them to death. They didn't shoot them. They didn't herd them somewhere and put them in camps to do this. They went village to village and hacked these people to death. 800,000 people. Mostly of the Tutsi minority, started by Hutu nationalists in the capital of Kigali. The genocide spread throughout the country with shocking speed and brutality as ordinary citizens were incited by local officials and the Hutu power government to take up arms against their neighbors. By the time the Tutsi-led Rwandese Patriotic Front gained control of the country through a military offensive in early July, hundreds of thousands of Rwandans were dead and 2 million refugees, mainly Hutus, fled Rwanda, exacerbating what had already become a full-blown humanitarian crisis. Now, I know for a fact that some of these were brought here.
Yes. Well, and in New York State, there's all kinds.
So I mean, like 20 years ago.
No, same thing.
Oh, okay.
The Somalis. There's whole neighborhoods in New York State that are
Maine
Somali.
and Minneapolis as well.
Yes.
Minneapolis is basically Mogadishu now. I wasn't kidding when I said that.
Yeah.
Minneapolis is basically a Somali state. By the early 1990s, Rwanda, a small country with an overwhelmingly agricultural economy like most of the continent, had one of the highest population densities in Africa. About 85% of its population was Hutu, the rest were Tutsi, along with a small number of Tiwa, a pygmy group who were the original inhabitants of Rwanda. Now, the Hutu and the Tutsi are part of what's called Bantu, which is the major indigenous
Tribe.
group. It's like a haplogroup.
Yeah.
Rather than just a tribe. The Hutu and the Tutsi are the tribes.
Okay.
And Bantu is the...
Yeah, but my thing is this happened in less than a month.
Yes.
All right. Less than 30 days, almost a million. I would say that this number is wrong with the 800,000. It's probably over a million, maybe double that number. They're probably dumbing it down to save people's feelings and shit.
They like to use nice round numbers.
Yeah.
For one. And for another, yeah, a lot of it goes unreported. They'll go in and clear a village, and then that village is just gone. Nobody goes in there and counts them.
Yeah.
You don't have the Tutsi guy in there with his little clipboard. Okay, 432.
But
432. That's not a thing.
But this is what I'm talking about here. We have the media, we have the Democrats drawing lines through our population, and they want people to tribal up, pack up and stack up, and then go at it. That's what they want. They want a civil war to take place so they could usher in the global world order. In my opinion.
They think that's what they're doing.
Yes.
They think that's what they're doing. I don't think that's how this is going to play out. First of all...
No, you cannot predict how human beings are going to react in situations. Like I said, we're evil hairless monkeys. We thrive on chaos. A lot of times we don't know even what the fuck we're doing until we're doing it.
Yes. Yeah. I believe I said this last week. America is the only population on Earth that was cobbled together from spare parts, but mostly alpha personality types.
Mm-hmm.
We will only push so far. Now, the millions of illegal invaders that are being flooded in here are all people like these Hutus and Tutsis. They have the same mentality. They're going to become violent. It's already happened. I told you on the way back when we were grabbing food. There was a car crash in Kern County, California by Bakersfield. Or not a car crash, a train.
Train hit a car.
Train hit a car. Uh-huh. And there was a body out there. And one of these African migrants, one of these African illegal invaders, found a leg and was walking around chewing on the leg like it was nothing. Yep. No American has ever seen anything like that before in the United States. Well, a guy walking down the street chewing on a leg.
Oh, during the Indian Wars, it probably happened.
No American alive today.
That's right. Okay, now you're correct.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I remember watching that video on Twitter. Yeah, he was chewing on it like it was a fucking turkey leg.
Yeah.
It was
no
quite disturbing.
Yeah, exactly. Ethnically motivated violence continued in the years following independence. In 1973, a military group installed Major General Juvenal Habyarimana. This is a lot of the history of Rwanda here. Let's get down to the juicy part.
Yeah.
In August 1993, Habyarimana signed an agreement at Arusha, Tanzania, calling for the creation of a transition government that would include the Rwandan forces. This power-sharing agreement angered Hutu extremists who would take swift and horrible action to prevent it. So, on April 6th, a plane carrying Habyarimana. Wow, I'm having difficulty pronouncing a name. And Burundi's President Cyprien Ntaryamira.
Yeah, well, wow. Don't pronounce.
That's fine. Yeah. Was shot down over the capital of Kigali, leaving no survivors. It has never been conclusively determined who the culprits were, but some have blamed the Hutu extremists. Within an hour of the plane crash, the Presidential Guard, with other members of the Rwandan armed forces and Hutu militia groups known as the Interahamwe, those who attack together, and those who have the same goal. What creative names. Set up roadblocks and barricades and began slaughtering Tutsis and moderate Hutus with impunity. So within 1 hour.
Yep.
Within 1 hour, the violence began for real. And again, for those of you who don't know, who haven't heard anything about Africa and how this stuff operates, guys, they go in there with machetes. They're not doing this in a clinical manner with truck-mounted machine guns even. or bombs or airplane raids or anything like this. This is face-to-face, hacking people to death, one after another, all day long for days. And they'll clear whole villages this way.
Yep.
The mass killings in Kigali quickly spread from that city to the rest of Rwanda. In the first 2 weeks, local government administrators in central and southern Rwanda, where most Tutsi lived, resisted the genocide. After April 18th, national officials removed the resistors and killed several of them. Other opponents then fell silent or actively led the killing. Officials rewarded killers with food, drinks, drugs, and money. Most people in sub-Saharan Africa, if they're of like war age, between 14 and 40, they're hopped up on something.
Yeah, on cot.
Speed. And I think cot is just East Africa for the most part. I don't know. Might be, probably. Anyway, they're popped up on speed and shit. Mm-hmm. Government-sponsored radio stations started calling on ordinary Rwandan civilians to murder their neighbors. Within 3 months, some 800,000 people had been slaughtered. Within
90 days. And I'm listen, that 800,000 I think is light. I think it's more. Because how are you going to count all the people in the countryside when whole villages, like you said, were wiped out? Who's left behind to give accurate numbers?
Yeah.
And I believe NATO tried to get involved and stop this, but NATO is a bureaucratic nightmare. All right, so they're very slow to react. There's always infighting between all of the commanders. It's a shit show. In my opinion, the UN and NATO, whatever, fuck those guys. They have served their purpose. And as far as I'm concerned, they are obsolete. That's my opinion, though.
Absolutely. So, guys, I understand that this is tribes that have common goals and everything, but you're not talking about a lot of people doing the killing here.
Mm-hmm.
Relatively speaking. And 800,000 people in 3 months were slaughtered in one place. That kind of thing, if the Somalis in Maine...
Let me do the math on that.
...were to go off, or in Minneapolis were to suddenly decide that they're going to kill every non-Somali they can get their hands on, they would tear through that city in probably 2 weeks flat and kill anything that wasn't a Somali.
So basically 9,000 people a day were put to the sword over a 90-day period.
Yeah. 9,000 a day.
9,000 a day.
And there are people out there in the that can never happen here camp. Well, it can never happen here until it does.
Well, let's just be honest here, okay? You have the people in the inner city who are angry, disaffected, and bitter because we've been piping in the elevator music to piss them off and basically give them the victim mentality, and they're being oppressed and we're holding them down.
Yeah.
So the minute the government falls, you're going to have a bunch of people who are turbo pissed, and we're going to see something similar happen in the very beginning. Because let's face it, in the beginning of every civil war, the first 1 to 3 months is usually, maybe up to 6 months, a bunch of personal grudges that are being settled. And then people pack up, and then it gets uber bad from there.
Yeah, that's true. Soga68 mentioned in the chat that during a lot of this where you said NATO was in there trying to help and stuff, the UN troops, the UN, he's right, were in there raping and killing themselves. We had a ton of problems with the UN raping all over the place. Afghanistan, Somalia, Rwanda, Tanzania, a bunch of places like that. They're known for it.
Yep.
It's really, really, really bad. The UN is not some world peacekeeping force.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of cobbled together third world countries that they give blue helmets and say, you're the police here now. Well, they're the police from a country that they don't care about this country. They don't care about your people.
Yep.
They don't care about your culture. They don't care about your city. They're just going to do whatever the heck they want. That's why it's important to have police and forces that are from your culture, your country, and your people. That's why it's important, because
shit goes off the rails that way, because they have no emotional investment. They don't give a shit, damn, or a fuck, and they do whatever the fuck they want.
One of the biggest concerns that I have with our current medical community is that now all of the doctors are either Indian or black or Arabic, they're not going to be nice to the indigenous population.
Probably not.
And it's already happening in the nursing homes. You see videos of this stuff all of the time. So when an urban center falls, what do you think is going to happen? You're not going to be able to get any medical attention after you get Hutu'd or Tutsi'd.
Yep.
In response, more than 2 million people, nearly all Hutus, fled Rwanda, crowding into refugee camps in Congo, which is not better at all.
It's called Zaire back then.
Yeah, that's fine, but it was still not better at all. Congo is just as bad. What's that? I don't want that. As in the case of atrocities committed in the former Yugoslavia around the same time, the international community largely remained on the sidelines during the Rwanda genocide. A United Nations Security Council vote in 1994 led to the withdrawal of most of a UN peacekeeping force, created the previous fall to aid with governmental transition under the Arusha Accords.
Yeah. Now the whole Yugoslavia thing. I know guys, long tabbers, who were there trying to keep the peace.
Yeah.
And again, it was largely a NATO mission, and it was very hard to get anything done because of the unbelievable web of bureaucracy you have to go through.
It's also an entrenched culture. There's a lot of corruption and a lot of nepotism and a lot of cultural things that you have to navigate there as well.
No, some of my green beanie buddies were there, and they got in trouble because they did not ask for permission. They operated on forgiveness. So some shit be developing, like, all right, what do we got? All right, yeah, let's get these trucks, let's do this, get the helicopter spun up. All right, get the artillery, get that. And they just took care of business. And then afterwards, like, who authorized this? Well, that Lieutenant Colonel over there with a green hat on did. And then they yelled at him.
Nice. Good way to.
My guys are just like,
These outbursts of violence, Yugoslavia, Zimbabwe, Rwanda, all of these other places, they're going to find their way here. They're already starting to find their way here. We're seeing incidents of tribal violence in some of the cities already during, like, right after the pandemic, after everything started to open up a little bit. There were mobs of young black teenagers that were attacking people in the streets in places like Boston.
Yes.
And
or what about the smash and grabs?
The countless smash and grabs. Yeah.
Like 200 teenagers. They put out on the signal, meet here, they show up, and then they just mob a place and steal everything.
Yep. Go in and just loot basically whole malls and stuff. That comes after the first 72 hours. That will persist, though. And then the strongest will rise to the top, and it will start to organize, and you will have de facto sort of pseudo
warlords,
governments and warlords in those areas. Then if you're still alive and you're still in that urban area, then your real problems begin, because now you have to suffer through all of this.
Or leave. Which would be very difficult.
Yeah. You want to get out in that first 72 hours.
Yes.
You want to be as far away from a collapse like that as you can in those first 72 hours. Haiti is probably one of the best examples of. Haiti was a French colony.
And then
in 1789, the Africans that they had brought over there to work the sugarcane fields, and granted they were slaves, I get it, okay, right? But they killed everybody who was not specifically black. They killed all of the whites first, and when people fled, and after they'd done the killing, the newly established black government said, "Oh, you can come back. We're sorry. We'll sort things out." They came back and they killed them.
Yep.
And they killed all.
Never recovered.
Yeah, it is never recovered.
Never recovered.
They killed all of the mulattoes as well. Any half black, half white children were killed.
Mm-hmm.
But it is the strangest existing ruined state that I've ever heard of. I've never actually been there, but I've talked to tabbers that have been there.
Well, I have a couple of friends that were in the Dominican Republic, in Haiti, doing stuff.
Right up against the border.
Yeah. And in my opinion, from what I've seen of Haiti, like, it should be carpet bombed.
Bulldoze into the sea.
Yes, just carpet bomb it
Yeah.
and bulldoze it into the sea.
Yeah.
It should not exist. It is hell on earth.
Yeah.
It's the same with Somalia.
Yeah.
Somalia is a fucktard, insane asylum as well.
Somalia, interestingly, here I go with the history thing again.
Uh-huh.
There are records of Greek traders from
Yeah.
2500 BC talking about that area of the African coast, and it wasn't called Somalia at the time.
No.
But the traders specifically described those people as stay the hell away because they will steal all of your shit, kill you, take your boats, and then eat you too.
And then do piracy.
And they were they're coastal pirates, and they have been coastal pirates for 2,500 years.
And where do you think the Marine Corps theme song came from? We actually sent people to Tripoli to kick ass because we were getting sick and tired of the Barbary Coast pirates.
That's Libya, though. That's inland.
Yeah, I know.
Somalia's on the far
I know.
coast.
I know. I'm just saying.
That's fair. I get you. It's the same basic
Same concept.
Same concept. You're geographically challenged. I understand.
I'm a dyslexicist.
You are the dyslexicist. This is one version of events. Now, the other version of events is one of the governments out there goes, fuck it. Boop.
Yep.
And we are treated to a thermonuclear fireworks display.
That's a good description.
It won't be the whole country. It will be key targets because they just can't bomb the entire United States, the same as we can't bomb all of Russia. But if somebody gets that stupid, or it could be Iran, or it could be any number of countries. France has nukes. Israel has nukes.
Yep.
There are a whole bunch of countries that have nukes. That there are probably nukes out there that we don't know about.
And listen.
And when the Soviet Union collapsed, a bunch of nukes disappeared.
Yes, they did. But let's face it. There's a lot of nations out there with nuclear warheads.
Yes.
I have a feeling the minute somebody fires off a nuclear warhead in anger, be it tactical nuke or what have you, you might have other countries say, you know what, we probably don't have a lot of time because if this kicks off, we need to take action before. You could have multiple countries lobbing nukes. You don't know.
Yeah. Yep. I believe the what's the quote, mutually assured destruction.
That was the 1970s and 80s. Yes, I lived through hiding under the desk in hopes that the nuclear bomb did not get me.
Yes, same here.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Like Russia is, rattling the saber. They're going to do some nukes. The minute they do that, they're going to have France, Germany, Italy, a lot of those other countries in Europe that have nuclear warheads are probably going to use them because they could think they're next. They got to put it to an end.
And I'm pretty sure that a lot of guys in the chats here didn't hear about this, but apparently Russia has been allegedly moving nuclear warfare to Cuba. There has also been a nuclear-powered sub that is equipped with nuclear warheads, allegedly, that was spotted off the coast of Florida.
Oh, blah, 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 blah. Okay, stop. That one I get to jump on because when I worked...
That happens all the time.
That has been happening since the 1960s, 1970s. We have played chicken with their subs left, right, and center all of the time for decades. The Hunt for Red October, Tom Clancy's novel, he got called in front of Congress to testify because they wanted to know how he was so accurate with his descriptions, which means it was really happening.
Yeah, I saw all that and I was like, oh, well, this might be something to pay attention to. And then I started seeing other people like yourself there, Battle Dwarf, saying this happens all the time. Don't worry about it. It's just stupid nonsense.
Well, there's a story here that's 2 hours old saying that the Russians are sending a flotilla to Cuba.
Yes.
It's not just subs. Subs happen all the time.
Yeah.
But,
and we have Russian trawlers off our coast a lot too. That happens quite a bit as well. They have SIGINT boats floating off Alaska and Washington State and Northern California all the time. Watching like our rocket launches out of Northern California.
Yep.
That happens all the time. Russia sending a flotilla to Cuba right now, in my opinion, is a tremendous slap in the face and a poke in the eye for the Cuban Missile Crisis incident from the 60s. I think this is Russia saying, we did it, what you do now.
Yeah. Well, they're saying they sent 3 ships and a nuclear-powered sub.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Let's face it. In my opinion, as it stands now, the Russian forces are not what they used to be.
Neither are ours.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've
correct.
got a bunch of sock puppet militaries out there right now.
With the rainbow hair.
Here's my big concern with the nukes. We know that there are bad operators. And unfortunately, we know that our own State Department is one of the bad operators now.
Yes.
What's to stop somebody from one of those bad operator organizations from walking into Paris and setting a suitcase nuke down under the Eiffel Tower
And just kicking it off.
or setting one off in the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C.?
Well, when I was in the Q course, we actually did a mission where we carried a backpack nuke. Those things are heavy.
Mm-hmm.
It fucking sucks. It's like a rucksack full of concrete.
Yep.
But yeah, we have that shit.
Yeah.
So do the Russians.
Those things exist.
And
a lot of them
any
disappeared.
state that's capable of making nuclear warheads makes tactical warheads as well.
Yes.
Because that's what that is. A suitcase bomb or nuke is a tactical warhead. It's not that big.
Yeah.
But it's probably very close to Hiroshima.
It does enough of a damage.
Yes.
This nuclear attack map for 2023 is a description of all of the things that could possibly happen. Here you can see the actual map itself of where we can launch from. And these are all the countries that theoretically have the capability to do this. Clearly, Russia and the United States are the big contenders there. Let's see. Before we begin, a word of warning, what you're about to read will be grim. Ultimately, there's no way to cover this topic without touching on some exceptionally dark material, such as the immense power of these weapons is unlike anything else in human history, so much that the concept of megadeath, good band, or 1 million dead from a single attack was coined to discuss the topics we're going to cover today. If one of these were to hit an urban center that had any population at all, I guarantee you'd get 1 million dead right off the bat.
Well, I mean, if they strike the United States, TANCOM is within 6 miles of here.
Yes.
And they make the tanks and Bradleys and stuff for the U.S. Army. If they drop a nuke there, I'm gone.
You're a Pop Crispy.
I'm literally going to die in a mountain of on fire toothpicks.
Yeah.
Because that's all that will be left.
Yeah. You'll be a crispy rice treat.
Yeah, I'll be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as it's fast, whatever.
That's fine.
I'll take my reassignment for my next snot rocket.
That's fine. Despite the technological sophistication of nuclear weapons, the doctrine dictating their use, mutually assured destruction, is caveman simple. Coined by military analyst Donald Brennan in 1962, the concept was robust enough to maintain a nuclear stalemate between the USSR and America through the Cold War. There were other reasons, many of them political. But it's also simple enough for any schoolboy to understand. Essentially, you shoot your nuke at me and I'll shoot back until no one's left alive in either country. Under this principle, the US and USSR rapidly accumulated nuclear weapons during those years. More bombs, after all, meant more destructive power and, in turn, deterrence to keep the enemy from attacking. This leads us to the concept of the Alpha Strike. An Alpha Strike is a preemptive attack on a hostile enemy, first targeting their nuclear weapons and military assets. This, in theory, would prevent the enemy from retaliating with their entire arsenal, cutting projected deaths to a more acceptable level.
Hang on. The theory. Theory.
Yes.
All right. Now, what blows this out of the water are nuclear subs.
Yep.
Because a lot of them have nuclear missiles.
Correct.
They hide under the water. They're always out there. Even China has a few of them, I believe. They just surface, shoot their missiles, and the whole continent disappears.
I don't know that China has deep water, long range nuke sub capability.
Well, let's do a search.
I don't know if that's so. But I do know that the US and Russia do. And the idea of targeting just the nuclear silos is absurd because those silos are buried deep.
They have six operational Jin-class ballistic missile submarines.
Oh, well, good for them. Way to go, China.
Fun times.
Way to go, China.
So there's 6 of them.
Yeah.
Yep. And to kind of piggyback off of what Steve says, if you're driving through BFE nowhere and you have to take a piss, don't stop where there is a caged off, probably 50 by 50 chain link fence, because within 2 minutes you will have 2 to 3 SUVs coming down on you.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like you know this, Jimmy.
Like Doug Way, Sands.
Yep.
Yeah.
That actually that story actually happened to a couple friends of mine. We're going on a road trip and they had to take a piss and stopped off. Didn't even think about it. Next thing you know, here come 2 to 3 black SUVs, all blacked out. Pulled up on them, said, "What the fuck you doing?" I'm taking a piss. You see my dick in my hand?
I'm draining the lizard.
Yeah.
You want to shake it?
No, we're doing a training mission, White Sands. Doug, is it White Sands, Utah, I think it was. And had a day off.
Yeah.
We rented some vehicles.
Right.
Had a fire.
Yeah.
Cooking steaks.
Yeah.
Drinking.
Yeah.
Before you know it, whoop, what are you doing here? What's it look like we're doing here? And they get all stupid. We pull out our ID cards. Oh, okay, you're in the Army? Yeah, we're just fucking off. All right, well, go fuck off somewhere else. Okay. That's exactly what they said.
That's crazy.
That's exactly what they said. Go fuck off somewhere else.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I mean, Dugway, Utah, they used to do nuclear tests there, NBC tests there. That's why they quit doing desert phase there. Too many people were kicking those little cluster munitions full of, sarin gas.
Oh.
And the whole patrol.
I did not know that.
Oh, yeah, it happened. It didn't happen in my class, but 2 classes before me, it happened. The whole platoon got basically corralled. They took all of their clothes, burned them.
Yeah.
All of their equipment, gone.
Yeah, full sand.
Shaved them bald.
Yeah.
And then washed them in pressured bleach.
Yeah.
It was fucking horrendous from what I hear. No, thank you.
That's good stuff.
You could suck all the dicks on that one.
They
man.
didn't do the full pressure bleach wash and shaving of all of the bodies, but they did take a platoon in 2nd Infantry while I was up there.
Yep.
And trained them in the full hazmat cleaning thing. And we all had to stand there and watch. And we're like,
you're not surviving.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh my God.
You're not. Listen, you're not surviving that.
Yeah.
You realize the NBC gear they give you does not protect you. It only delays
just
the
to get
inevitable.
you out of there so that you can tell somebody that somebody was gassed somewhere.
Or you could continue to fight for 8 to 12 hours before you die.
Right. Yeah. That gear is not there to ensure your continued survival. It's there to keep you going for a little bit longer.
Yes.
That's all it's for. So if a city gets nuked, what happens?
Here we go. We've played with this before, gentlemen.
Yeah.
And we will do it again. Now, we have a nuclear sub off of the shore of Florida, so we decided to use Florida as an example.
Now, this is just the 1 megaton Minuteman strike. And I chose this little peninsula here. Let me move our little nuke friend out of the way. See the little peninsula there below Tampa? That's SOCOM. That's all of our special operations, everything. Gone. Like not
It's
even
also
there anymore.
It's also Southcom.
No. Nope.
They were doing counter drug out of Florida back in the day.
That's correct, but Southcom
okay.
is here at Doral.
All right. They'll get hit too.
I happen to know these things.
They will get. I didn't know the exact city was in, but
I know exactly where they are. I've been there.
Now look at Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
So there'll be all kinds of young women sucking dick, and they'll get barbecued.
Food. It would also take out Miami.
Yes.
But of course, and this is just a 1 megaton hit. That port of Miami, that's critical. So what if I just dropped it right on the edge of the mainland there and took out Southcom and Port of Miami?
Well, first of all, that entire city's gone because the fallout will, after the fact, will wipe out probably another.
We don't actually know. That is a theory.
I don't want to test it.
I don't want to test it out.
I'm good.
Now, down here in Homestead is the air base that takes Cuba off the map. If they drop it there, you still lose all of that stuff. Hell, they could drop it up at Princeton, still get Homestead in the blast radius, and take out all of southern Miami.
No, why don't we dial it up a little bit?
We're going to dial it up a little bit. Let's pick a juicier target.
Let's New York City.
Delaware, New Jersey,
New
New
York
York
City.
City, right there. And that's New York. Let's say the Russians get really frisky. Largest U.S. bomb tested is the Castle Bravo.
Well, you need to move the nuclear booger up there.
Yeah.
So you didn't move the nuclear
I
booger.
didn't move the nuclear booger. Hang on. So here, Charleston. And then we'll just nuke the whole coast a little at a time. It'll be great. So let's pick New York City and detonate that. Let's come in a little bit here.
That's the largest U.S. bomb that we have, right?
Now, mind you, if you hit New York with the largest bomb tested at 15 megatons at Castle Bravo, you get...
Try to go on, Steve. Change the tab there.
Oh, we can't see it. You got to change the tab.
Yep.
Never.
I am an idiot.
Sorry.
There we go.
All of this time and not showing you any of the fun. I apologize for my stupidity.
All right.
Anyway, we're going to drop a Castle Bravo on New York City, which gives you Trenton, New Jersey, which is a lot of shipping and everything. Stamford, Bridgeport, New Haven. There's a lot of subports and other things up around those areas. A lot of military up in that region.
Did you hit the detonate button?
I am about to hear you ready.
Yeah. Boom! Yep. All of New York City gone.
That's New York City just
gone.
Not there anymore. And that's Long Island and that whole thing there. All of the bridges that connected to the mainland, all of that would be gone completely. Now let's say Vlad goes, fuck them.
Uh-huh.
And he
drops the Tsar Bomba.
The largest USSR bomb tested, the Tsar Bomba, in the same place.
Wow.
Dude, look at the size of that blast. The red ring is the fireball.
Instant death.
The yellow ring is the pressure wave and everything that goes with that. That would level whole
cities. Does it give you a casualty count? I thought it gave us a casualty count.
Radiation, fireball radius. Oh, the fireball radius would go all the way. The yellow is the fireball radius.
Yep, all the way to Stanford.
Heavy blast is the red. And moderate blast damage radius.
Fireball radius.
Jesus.
5.16 kilometers.
3 miles. 3 mile fireball.
Yeah.
We're there right now. Russia is talking about pulling stupid like this.
Yes.
They're talking about pulling this level of stupid.
Yeah. I listen, I don't want to see it happen.
No.
But, you know,
I really don't want to see anything.
Dickheads are going to dick, man. I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah. What would happen? I'm curious.
What?
Let's see. We're here.
When are you dropping it? Oh,
I'm dropping it. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
How crispy is Pop?
Got to move the nuclear booger. Pop is gone.
Dude.
Yeah. You might even get...
that.
You'd get your house knocked down, too.
Just on the edge of the fireball.
Yeah.
We're just on the edge.
You would have to move. If you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
not to mention, if they did that, all of the Great Lakes is now irradiated, and you can't use that fresh water for hundreds of years.
Yeah, they would. It would depend on the winds there, and the Earth has a way of going.
Yeah,
humans are very insignificant. We think we're this big. That's what makes global warming so funny. If the Earth wants us gone, it's boop
or flick us off like a booger.
Oh, you bother me. Yeah, that's just a ridiculous notion. But these are the two scenarios we have right now for real serious urban damage. If you live anywhere near an urban area, you have people who live in an urban area, make a plan to get the hell out of Dodge and have somewhere to go that's not in an urban area, preferably 100 miles away. That's probably a good distance.
Unfortunately, there are a lot of people out there that don't have that kind of money to set that up.
I know, but if everything goes sideways, money doesn't matter anyway.
I know. What I was going to say is make sure You have a bug out bag, medical supplies, and enough food to last at least 3 to 4 months. Get on your state map, look for state and federal land near you,
Yes.
and build a plan to get your ass there.
Yep.
Bring a shovel and a field saw. You can build your own hooch to hang out.
Tents are cheap.
Yeah. And
Tarps are cheaper.
yes. And you just got to do what you got to do. And granted, it's going to suck,
Yes.
but you'll be alive.
That's correct. And don't sleep on the ground.
No.
Don't sleep directly on the ground. Especially if you've never done it before.
Mm.
That's not good for you. What prompted the nuke thing?
Well, here we go.
Well,
you got to share the tab.
I did. This time I did.
Okay.
I did not dumb this time. I has the brains.
I'm looking at it right here. All right.
Yeah, should be there.
Oh, there. Okay.
Yeah. Putin orders tactical nuclear weapons drills in response to Western threats.
That's
And
not a
this
tactical
is
nuke.
a week ago. This is a strategic nuke.
Yes.
But this is all the people had, and they often show the wrong thing.
Why don't we show them the Davy Crockett, which
What?
was one of our tactical
The
nukes.
blast radius of the Davy Crockett?
Well,
Or the Davy Crockett itself?
see if we can find what the Davy Crockett looks like, just so they can see.
Mhm.
Davy Crockett nuke.
And if memory serves me correctly, they disregarded using that because even the teams couldn't get back and couldn't get away.
How
from
small that is.
Hang on. I haven't shared the tab yet.
Oh, okay. Sharing. Boom.
Okay.
That's the Davy Crockett.
That's the one that has the blast radius to take out Tampa.
Mhm. Look at that. I mean, it's not that big. You can even put that in a rucksack.
You can transport that on a truck
But here's the thing, though.
or a panel van or an Amazon delivery truck.
When you shoot that, you're going to kill yourself because it doesn't go that far. It can't. I mean, you just don't have enough rocket power or explosive force to propel it that far.
I don't know. What's the range?
Probably
Weapon
David Crockett.
range.
Got to check the images out.
Oh. It's a recoilless rifle, first of all, 1.25 miles. It is just outside of the blast radius.
We're fucked.
Just outside of the blast radius.
Yeah.
So you've got time to launch it and then run like hell.
Yeah, you're not going to get very far, but that's just saying.
So Russia's moving its nukes around. President Vladimir Putin has ordered Russian forces to rehearse deploying tactical nuclear weapons as part of military drills to respond to what he calls threats by the West. Since invading Ukraine in 2022, Putin has repeatedly made veiled threats to use nuclear weapons against the West, but Monday marked the first time Russia has publicly announced drills. During the exercises, a set of measures will be carried out to practice the issues of preparation and use of non-strategic nuclear weapons, which is a nice way of saying tactical nuclear weapons.
Yep.
Non-strategic or tactical nuclear weapons can be used in battlefield situations carrying less power than strategic nuclear weapons, which have the potential to level entire cities and a 50-mile radius.
You know what? I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
A tactical nuke, if you were to set that off in New York City, would destroy the city.
Yes, it would cause the city to be unable to function.
Yes, and it would be full of radiation.
Especially if you put it in the right spot.
Yeah, you literally. Yeah, it's an area denial weapon too.
Yes, it is absolutely an area denial. What you're doing is creating a mini Chernobyl.
Mm-hmm.
You can put a mini Chernobyl anywhere you want with one of these weapons. French President Macron last week reaffirmed that he would not rule out sending Western troops to Ukraine. He warned of the risks Russia poses to European security and other countries near its border. What they're doing, by the way, with NATO and everything is, I suspect that because Russia is trying to work with some of the other countries to break away from the world banking system, which is run out of Europe and the US and run by that banking consortium.
Yeah, that needs to be addressed.
That they're Hitlerifying him. They're turning him into the enemy.
Well,
to the point where we're to this point here.
Yes, absolutely correct. But
Do we
listen, if he nukes, If he detonates a nuke, he becomes the enemy.
That's true.
Now, I don't give a shit about Ukraine. I don't give a shit about Russia.
We shouldn't be.
The women in Ukraine and Russia are hot, but I don't want to see them die. But other than that, I don't give a shit about those two countries. I really don't.
Russian women just kill you.
Yeah.
There is that.
And Macron might not be around much longer anyway, because apparently they had to dissolve their parliament because loss of confidence from the public. So they're going to hold a snap election and see who gets to run the show. So we'll see what happens, because I think it'll be totally legit.
Yeah, of course.
Like
our elections that are coming up in August and it's in November.
Yeah, of course.
Should be
totally
fine.
fair.
Should be fine.
Yeah.
Should be fine.
Yeah.
And the known suspects and whatnot are going around smashing things and harassing people, looting, robbing, beating people.
Is this happening in France right now?
In
'Cause we're
France,
not
yes.
to that point in the U.S. just yet.
Yet.
That is in France. Apparently, there's the European Antquifas are doing Antquifa things and all that fun stuff. So,
I'm waiting for people in those countries to start getting killy. I'm waiting for them to realize that there's no longer any reason for us to hold back. It's time to go to town, because I think that's coming.
Yeah.
I think that's coming. I think people have been pushed far enough.
Well, once you take away the food, water, and shelter, people are going to get pissed.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
And you have all of those people who are saved up to retire for decades, and all that money will disappear when they crash the economy. They're going to be mighty pissed off.
One of the other things is our generation now, in our early 50s to early 60s. A lot of us are in charge of things, and we remember how good things were, and now we see how bad things are.
Yep.
That might be enough in some cases to go, you know what? Why are we suffering through this when we had it so good, when all we have to do is remove these people here?
Correct. That will at some point will happen. Historically speaking, when you have tyrants running the show, at some point they get ousted.
Yes. Yeah, that is actually a third factor in the urban cleansing thing that I forgot to consider. Because where did that happen with tremendous effect, where it accidentally got out of control and got le Rwandan avec fromage?
I don't know.
The French Revolution.
Oh, yeah.
The French Revolution, when they overthrew the king and beheaded him.
All right, they didn't just get him and his wife. They went hog wild and executed so many people,
thousands,
to the point they actually had to execute the guy who was in charge of executing everyone because he wouldn't stop.
I forget his name. I keep wanting to say Rochambeau, and that's wrong.
But he wouldn't stop.
Yes.
And they're like, okay, we're going to have to kill you.
Yes.
And they gave him the guillotine treatment.
Yes. And that was
best we can do is kill you.
What's that?
Best
we can do is kill you.
Best we can do is kill you. That was thousands and thousands of people in France, and that is a brilliant example of just how quickly a city can fall apart. They had a revolution. They overthrew the king. Yay! Off with his head. Yay! Off with her head, and off with your head, and your head, and your head, and her head.
It went on for almost 2 years.
Right? It went on for almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years.
And it got really crazy and really terrifying, and the city was under control of this one guy whose name I can't remember, and the only word that comes into my mind is Rochambeau. They eventually, like Pop said, had to kill that guy too. So that's a third way that your urban environment can go bad, is if you go after those corrupt politicians and give them the guillotine, and the wrong guy is in charge of doing that, next thing you know...
Well, the mob is basically stupid. When you have mobs,
yes,
there's no intelligence there. It's all emotional responses.
Yes.
And bad shit happens.
Yes.
That's what mobs do.
And it's infectious too.
Yes.
People get out of hand. A good example of that is soccer hooligans. It's a soccer game. It's a soccer game, and they'll kill people at these soccer games for voting for the wrong team and wearing the wrong scarf.
or one of your rugby jerseys,
Yeah.
which I like to wear. You know?
They will absolutely hospitalize you or kill you over a soccer match. And that's a brilliant example of how crowds can just lose their minds. Now, add to that corrupt politicians, a couple of machetes, and a guillotine.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
And a nuclear warhead.
It would be great. We promise.
You're so fucked.
It's such a bad day.
Dude, man, you want to talk about getting butt fucked in the dick hole. Fuck. And, I mean, this is just absolute lunacy right here. I shouldn't say I never saw this coming because I felt it coming. I had visions in regards to my entire life. But I didn't think it'd be a World War III situation. I would thought it'd be like a Civil War situation. And it's going to probably be both.
Both.
At the same time.
I'm thinking we're going to be seeing both. What is baffling me is how consistently nobody has stepped up to really do anything about this.
I know.
Nobody has stepped up to really do anything about this, and it baffles the hell out of me. It's like the Bolsheviks have infinite supporters, infinite donors, infinite amounts of money, infinite judges, infinite lawyers, and the side of the people who just want to be left alone to tend their damn chickens, we can't find anything.
And well, here's the thing. The minute the people who want to be left alone decide, fuck it, and they become incredibly dangerous. I'm sorry.
That's the point where you have to hope that it's not a Rochambeau from the French Revolution.
Yes.
Because if somebody like that really goes, if 20 of you guys, if 20 retired green beanies went all the way overboard, full Colonel Kurtz, Apocalypse Now.
Yep.
Locally, there wouldn't be very much that could stop a group like that in a civilian environment, not on a battlefield, like here.
Well, here's the thing. You have 20 guys with that kind of training. They're not going to operate just as 20 guys. They're going to actually raise a company or a battalion of other guys and train those people.
Now you got a warlord.
Well, I know, but I mean, that's what Green Berets are designed to do.
Yes.
To destroy
Yes.
and bring down other countries.
Yes.
And that's I mean, millions of dollars are expended in every single Green Beret to accomplish that mission, the FID mission, and then you have the direct action missions.
Direct action is a relatively small portion of
Correct.
the Green Beret
That's CAG.
operational set.
That's CAG that does most of that stuff.
The thing that he's talking about, the force multiplier, is pretty cool. I've seen some of the training. I never went through any of that myself, but I worked with the Green Beanies, and they'll go and train 10 guys to train 10 guys each. Well, now you have 110 guys. Now a group of those guys will train another 110 guys. Now you have 220 guys.
Yep.
And so on and so forth. That's what they do. That's their whole mission. So if you turned loose a herd of angry Green Beret veterans and they started multiplying their forces, they're going to control that area, period, until you can field a real governmental force that can do anything at all to stop them, unless they turn out to be the good guys and reconstitute the government.
Well, if you could train a battalion-size element to the level of an airborne ranger, battalion. All right. Now, I've heard this said many times in many different briefings from various officers in my career in regards to the airborne rangers.
Mm-hmm.
If you are in a foreign country or you're a dictator-in-chief of another country and you're so unfortunate as to wake up one day and have a battalion of airborne rangers in your backyard, you're going to have to be willing to draw a red line through an entire division, because that is what it will take to wipe them out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's very fucking
You better
expensive.
have heavy air capability.
Yes.
Yeah, you better have some heavy lift air capability, because they're going to shoot through everything in sight. One of the Hollywood misunderstandings is that the Green Berets are the primary direct action force. You see that in the movies all the time. It's the Rangers. The way that it was explained to me when I was in was if you want to take beaches and hold land, you call the Marines. If you want to push inland and hold land, you call the U.S. infantry. If you want to take a hold of land that's already inside occupied land, you send the airborne. If you want everything killed, you send the ranger.
Yeah.
If you want everybody on that land to fight for you, you send the Green Berets. And if you want just one motherfucker killed, you send CAG.
Yeah. And CAG only really, well, I shouldn't say only, they mostly do operations inside an objective that is surrounded and guarded by airborne rangers.
They like their corners.
Yes.
Yeah, they like their chalk corners.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a true story.
Like the whole Ranger Somalia debacle, that was a CAG, which is Delta Force hit.
Yep.
And the Rangers were outer cordon, and then they were so arrogant they didn't just have a third or fourth plan to get people out. And
they didn't complete their pace.
Yeah, they did not. They only had a primary and alternate plan. They had no
Yeah.
contingency or emergency plan.
That's correct.
That's why they took so many fucking casualties.
That's correct. I'm starting to do a series of short videos, and one of the ones that I have done and completed is about having a pace plan.
Correct.
So, yeah, I'll push some of those out later. None of that's ready for prime time yet. Some of it's up on Rumble. But I'm covering little itty bitty things that people can do at a Joe Blow level. I had a couple of guys in Steve Murray's group look at it, and they're like, "Oh, well, anybody would know that." I'm like, "Well, yes, any standard infantry guy or officer or any of that. We all know what pace is, of course. But I'm doing it for Joe Sixpack so that Joe Sixpack can understand it at a basic level, and now has a plan to get the hell out of Dodge with alternates and contingencies and emergency plans."
Yep.
So
there you go.
There you go, man. There you go. With the idea that Europe is going to go Third World War, I don't think that particular war is going to find its way here to our shores. I think we're going to end up with our own.
Yes.
I don't see Russian troops invading even Alaska.
Well, I'm working on a new zombie apocalypse, which is
Yeah.
an invasion of the United States.
Oh, who would do that? How would you accomplish an invasion of the United States?
Well, I've already have enough people on the ground to do basically it's equivalent of World War II with the paratroopers behind the lines.
You need homogenous elements.
Correct.
Where are your homogenous elements?
Well, they would come up from the south.
They would come up from the south.
Yeah, China is trying to put bases down there.
Yes, China already has probably, I would say,
Yeah, and I'm actually using the
7,000 or 8,000 SOF.
George
US.
Washington vision.
Mhm.
I mean, there's a lot of information in that, and I might expand
George
upon that.
Washington vision?
Yeah.
What's that?
He had like a vision about the future of the United States, and I don't know it verbatim, but he basically saw the United States years in advance going through a very rough time, and he wasn't really sure if it survived or not.
Oh, I need to read that. I haven't read that. I need to read that.
Yeah.
That sounds like something I will read. My big thing is because of our geographic diversity and how spread out we are, I don't see how an invasion of the United States could be pulled off, but I could see taking the West Coast or taking the East Coast or taking Florida and Alabama and that area, like a section of the United States. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't see a complete invasion, an all-engulfing invasion of the United States.
I don't know. We'll see. Here's the thing, though.
Mhm.
All right. If they spark off a two-way rifle range in this country, they don't really have to do anything until it's settled or towards the end when both sides are weakened to the point where it might be feasible.
Okay.
So there's that.
Yeah.
But let's face it, we've got millions of people in this country already.
Yes.
And if they all decide to kick off and do an October 7th attack like they did in Israel, it's going to be very hard for us to react. It'll
agree.
take time. A lot of people will get smoked.
Yes.
There'll be a lot of damage.
Yes.
But then after that, once we awaken,
Mhm.
it's going to be very bad for the rest of the world.
I don't think the masters of this whole thing, and I believe that as far as the Western countries are concerned, they're located in Davos and Washington, D.C.
Uh-huh. There's
I-
already lists of these guys with all kinds of addresses and stuff floating around. On
Well, I
dark
understand.
web.
I don't think that the puppet masters of this understand just how dangerous the hinterlands of the United States are. In a state like Illinois or Michigan or Ohio, I'm talking about the bubbas out there with their trucks and their guns.
Yep.
That it's a lot more dangerous.
Well,
than
first
we
of all,
realize. And a lot of them are veteran Rangers and Green Berets and
Yeah.
Marines.
I've covered this on Sunday. You can buy a precision weapon
Mhm.
with a decent scope for about $1,700 or less, and you could shoot frisbee-sized targets out to 1,000 meters without much difficulty in the daylight. Can you imagine the absolute nightmare it would be to navigate, for a fighting force invading this country to
Yeah.
navigate our streets with that amount of precise rifle fire?
Yep.
It would be devastating.
Yeah.
Yep.
We
And
had
so-
snipers at Abu Ghraib, and it shut down everything for days.
The Iraqi snipers are firing in.
Firing into our compound.
Wow.
And it fucked everything up.
And that was probably just 3 or 4 guys.
And I don't even think they actually had a really good rifle, but they had a couple close. I don't think they hit anybody, but they had some real close calls.
Yeah.
And then everyone's got to stay inside. You got to move in groups. You got to
You don't want to put a group out there when there's a sniper out there. What are you doing?
to return fire.
I mean, you don't put a group of guys together.
Well, no, you spread out, but
Yeah.
still, you move as an infantry guy.
Yeah, no, I get it. That's going to be another threat in the urban areas after that first 72 hours as well. Is there's going to be people out there who are just going to go plinking. I guarantee you're going to have a level of that where some Yahoo is going to go, you know what? There's no more law and order. I'm just going to start taking heads.
Yep. And the funny thing is, it would actually be a lot easier to camouflage yourself and make yourself a quote urban ghillie suit than it would to be an actual like countryside ghillie suit. Because all you need is trash, cardboard, and some plastic, and you're good to go.
No idea how hard it is to move around unseen in an urban
Oh,
environment.
fuck
man.
yeah.
It is so hard.
Yeah. You'd have to move
really
at
need
night.
to know the city.
You'd have to move at night
Yeah.
and be able to find somewhere where you can just hunker down and don't move for the day.
Yep. And you might get off 1 or 2 shots if you're going to hunker down like that too. You can't keep up a sustained rate of fire because they're
No.
going to find you. The thing is, and moving that weapon around too.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be obvious. You're going to need a way to. Even the DC sniper firing out of a vehicle, they figured that out relatively quickly.
Well, unless you're the guy from Vegas who happened to carry up 23 weapons and all that ammo, allegedly.
Go to Vegas sometime and watch how easy it is to move stuff around. There's a lot of shady shit around that, I will grant.
I've been to Vegas once for the first conference, and yeah, no thanks. I will never go to Vegas again.
I've been there twice, and I have no desire to go back.
I've been there once. No thanks.
When I saw that Donovan Sharp was running that shit at the Phoenician, I knew he was going to have all kinds of financial problems because I took my wife there on a vacation,
Mhm.
and it was they hit us for an extra $1,800, and I had to like fight with them for weeks to get the charges taken off.
$1,800 for what?
I just like missing stuff from the refrigerator that I never touched.
Oh,
Little things that all adds up.
they mini barred you.
Well, there was that. There was a couple other charges that were just absolute bullshit
Right.
and I'm like, I'm never going to do business with you again.
Wow.
So when we showed up there for that conference, I knew that it was going to happen.
Wow.
They were trying to charge him $1,500 for a 30-foot patch cable to go from the laptop to the sound system.
Below me.
I remember
Just
that
saying.
whole. I remember that whole debacle. I was hanging out with Blake while that was going on.
Wow. That's something else. Gentlemen, we are at that time.
We're at that time.
We are at that
Did
time.
we cover all of the...
We did.
Wow.
We didn't cover Katrina as in depth as we could have, but we managed to touch on all of those things.
Let's pull up Katrina just for a few
Plus
minutes.
the Hurricane Katrina storm, 2005. I got home from the Army 2 days after Katrina blew out. I was there for Wilma. I was fresh home in good shape in Homestead, Florida, where Katrina had just ripped through.
Mm-hmm.
So I made some of the easiest money I've ever made in my life. I went and got a small chainsaw, an axe, a pry bar, some rope, and a couple of pulleys, and just walked around and said, "I'll clear your yard for $150."
Yeah, there you go.
I did that for like 2 weeks.
We're not going to go into detail about the Katrina thing, but what took place was a complete clusterfuck breakdown of a civilization.
Yes.
And then you had a city across like a bay that barricaded the far side of a bridge to keep that mayhem from coming across the bridge to infect their area. And I believe a couple people actually got thrown in prison because there was some shootings down that bridge.
Yeah. It scored a direct hit in Louisiana and New Orleans, and the devastation that I saw there a year after the fact. That's it. All it took was a storm, and the city was reduced to...
When you live under
Nothing.
the water line, what do you fucking think is going to happen?
There is that.
All right. Come on. And we gave them all kinds of money to, reinforce their levees, build extra dams.
Their
take
government
care
was already corrupt.
And they literally just piss the money away, and they get what they get.
Yeah, their government was already corrupt.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on to super chats.
All right.
So we can get you out of here. So
Jimmy, you have the comm.
All right, I got them up here right here. And the first one right off the bat of the night, we got from Chad Layton over here on YouTube. He's dropping a C note.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
He says, for the fun, thank you for your work, gents.
Well, we're trying.
That's what we're here for. Sean St. George coming in $4.99. I would encourage we all learn to cook. And
Yes.
Sean is one hell of a cook from what he has described for me. Says, for the same price as fast food dinner, I can make a meal up to for 4 days, proportioned and consumed correctly.
That is correct. I am a chef level cook myself. I learned to cook at a 4-star hotel back in the early 90s.
Yep. I've also learned to barbecue, cook, and a few other things from my dad. Of course, me and him worked at the same restaurant for couple of years and whatnot.
There you go, bro.
Let's see, moving on here. We got Jam 3555. He's dropping a $50.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Thank you very much.
Yep, and he's also saying for the fun. And we got Chief of Beef being oh so generous. Chief of Beef. That's top five. That's top five favorite screen name there. He's also dropping $100 there.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Thank you so much.
You guys
man.
are awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And his comment is: American middle schoolers should take field trips to Detroit instead of DC. It would be required American history curriculum.
Yeah,
that's a good
I
idea.
could show you around.
Yeah.
There's a lot here. It's very surprising.
I still remember that one building. You can see it off I-75 when you drive through Detroit, and it's spray painted there for years. It said "Kill Whitey."
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, that's bad.
Don't stop in that neighborhood.
No.
Loudmouth Tim coming in here with $10 says the judge should schedule Hunter's sentencing for the day after Trump's payback time. Thanks, Pop, for my email about bitch boss who fired me for no good reason. I got her IG complaint in.
Yeah.
Nice. See, we got a Mighty Mouse Malibu with 2 in a row here with $5 each. It says, first one, the Castle Bravo was the largest we tested, not fielded in service. Our largest that we know of is the Titan II at 9 megatons.
Yes.
Yeah, listen, the numbers all bleed together. It's all just instant death.
Yeah, after a certain size, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's just stupid.
And one thing that they say, oh, you stick your thumb out, or you reach your arm out and you stick your thumb out, and if the mushroom cloud is bigger than your thumb, you're in the blast radius. I've heard it's it's somewhat true, but it's also bullshit. I'm just saying, if you see a mushroom cloud,
You're
run
fucked.
in the opposite direction as fast
You
as
don't
you
have
I was
can.
just about to say, I'm not going to stand there and measure things. I'm leaving.
But you don't have
Yeah.
time to run. You have time to like maybe find temporary cover until the blast wave passes and then retreats, and then you run.
Yep. But then again, we got people to be like, "Oh, this would be great on TikTok. I'm gonna watch this mushroom cloud."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the bomb blast drills in basic.
Yep. Ass to the blast, knees to the breeze. Peace by
Yeah.
force.
Let's see. And Mighty Mouse's second one here says, you guys should look up a concept we came up with called SLAM, aka America's quote big stick. It would have been beyond war crime, so we dropped it.
Interesting. Slam.
Might have to send in an email to describe that one there. Let's see, I got Alex Patino here for $5. Battle Dwarf.
What?
The guy you were alluding to was Robespierre.
Robespierre. That's his name.
Robespierre.
Robespierre. Yep.
There you go.
That is correct.
There
Thank
you
you.
go. All right.
Those
Next
Jumbo.
one. Dylan Sharding with $5. It says, "Wow, Warpad 40K Green Lightning."
Hey, make sure you hit the like button on your way out if you guys are leaving. We need the likes.
Yeah.
There you go. Yep, we got 672 concurrent viewers and 384 likes. I did put the word out. We had over 700 on YouTube there and only 250 likes.
I got
Put the word out.
Global with 182 likes. We can do better than, what is that, 13%?
Yep.
Just hit the like button, man. Just reach over, push the little thingy.
Just like and subscribe. What the fuck?
you
Just
go.
do it.
Nice and easy. And let's see. Last one here on YouTube. We got Hermitage Prepper with $5. Says, "I bet the dragon/bear would sponsor a boogaloo with the promise of a new government. Think aid crates /flyers of Minutemen with tricorn hat holding AK RPG."
Yeah.
Seems awfully complex to me.
Well, I mean, there's enough people that have been sneaked into our country.
Yeah.
And Antifa already has run the rehearsals for the craziness. All they got to do is get the people in position. The infrastructure's already there. Give them the weapons. Let them do what they're going to do.
Yep. Isn't it kind of funny how usually whenever a riot or quote unquote peaceful protest just happens to start off or something happens, pallets of bricks just happen to show up when there's no construction going on.
Yeah. How odd is that?
Strange. Very odd.
Strange. All right, we'll jump over here to the Rumble chat here. The first one here was from Imperial Wolf 1998 for $1. Says, idea for Billy Von Baum, Pop and the Hogan's Heroes intros as Pop's Heroes.
Wait till you see the Knight Rider one.
my
Oh, man.
Oh,
Wait till you see the Knight Rider one.
Oh,
The Knight Rider one, we watched that before the stream. We're not going to play it. Just,
I was
not gonna-
literally laughing my ass off within the first 10 seconds.
Yeah, we can't
Yep.
play it because of copyright.
Yep. So go to Billy Von Baum on YouTube. It'll be the first one there. It's called Hog Rider. You're going to laugh your asses off. I've already got it downloaded, so that's going to be a little teaser. It's going to be the preview for the Rumble chat next week.
Nice.
If you don't see it, you're going to see it.
Nice.
Next one, MGTOW Mando here with $2 says, Pop, this is the Pop, is this ball of mudslinging seed like an old bird feeder?
Kind of. The ball of mud slinging through space.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of bird feeders on this thing. Yeah.
Yep, there you go. And got Clip 3188 coming in. He says, "Fuck California." Absolutely. I just got out of there this weekend. Holy shit. They financially struggle you for just trying to leave. Don't go there if you don't have to. Unfortunately, I do. Pray for me.
They financially struggle you if you try to leave.
And here's another thing I just saw in the news today in California. They have green energy too hard, and they actually are not getting enough tax revenue from the gas tax.
No.
And they're considering charging everyone in California 30 cents per mile that they drive.
Oh, that's going to go over great.
That's not going to work.
No.
There's one, how do you collect that?
Well, also, this is what you get when you have people that got a stupid degree that didn't teach them shit.
Yes.
It only taught them what to think and not how to think. So we have
Correct.
diversity hires running the show. What could go wrong?
I think the C plus crowd has left the stadium, and we're now dealing with the D plus crowd.
Yeah.
Honestly.
You're probably
And again,
right.
that goes. California is basically any other state. It's the small packets of the quote unquote blue areas that control how things go. That is why Oregon is trying to become Greater Idaho, which that's never going to happen. But you know what?
No,
I would
it
love to
could
see
happen.
that.
What is Oregon going to do if 60% of their counties just say, you know what? Fuck you. We're not sending our tax money. Make us, motherfucker.
Yeah.
They are not going to be able to do it.
Yep.
Yep. And technically, legally speaking, they got to go through the Oregon legislation, the Idaho legislation, and then it has to go up to Congress. And we all know how that's going to go.
Well,
we're still operating under the idea that we have to continue to play by a legal system that clearly does not represent us any longer.
Correct.
And has been rigged to favor only the Bolsheviks in this equation. We need to stop pretending that we have to play by their rules for us.
Correct.
Well, how dare you say that the system is rigged there, Battledorf? They just a jury just implemented Hunter Biden on his gun charges.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The gun charges is what I'm really worried about. It's not him selling his family's access and all this other shit. Fuck off.
You claiming that it was a dog and pony show, Jimmy?
Maybe.
It was a dog and pony show.
The dog and
pony. It is.
Carry on.
Stupid. Let's see. Mick Tamando here coming back in. He says, no shit. I've been getting these, quote, flashes where I am basically seeing a double explosion of the city where I live. I'm seeing it as it's destroyed simultaneously.
Ruh-roh.
Well, welcome to my world.
Yep. There you go. And Mando coming back again here says, and the international parasites will still expect us to help them with their natural disasters.
If I wind up running the show, I'm going to turn that money spigot off and they can just fucking...
Oh, I would redefine isolationism.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. See, Tantalum 180 here with $2. Save one shot, know the lay of the land, and don't count on being able to hold a single position. Be flexible, mobile, and always on alert.
Be water, my friend.
Yep. There you go. I got a Benny D coming in here with $10. Says millions of illegal people with no real love of America or Americans. I imagine they won't hesitate to kill us for food, shelter, water, etc.
You are correct.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah.
100% correct.
Yep. And it's totally not like, some major quote unquote ISIS people were arrested on the, in Philadelphia, New York, and another city just the other day. So
there were Croats on Fort Bragg who ended up getting themselves shot by what appears to be a CAG colonel.
Yep. Yes, sir.
That's always fun.
They were taking pictures of his kids.
Yeah.
And then he confronted them. They got stupid.
He unstupided them.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I heard about that. And apparently that guy's in a shit world of shit show because, well, the court system is completely bass-ackwards and fucked 3 ways from Sunday. Yeah. Let's see. Next one here. I got Sarku with $5. And as an unusually intelligent, evil, hairless monkey, I can tell you that there are people that know how to and are pitting us against each other in an order to rid the world of excess population.
Yeah, you're probably
very
not
believable.
Wrong.
Yeah, that's why they want to shut off the watering systems to the farmers.
One of the reasons, that's correct.
Many reasons on that one. See, Sarku coming back in. He says, MPLS will never turn on those people. They will die. They will die themselves before they raise their hands against the Somalia.
To clarify, MPLS here means Minneapolis. That's the city code.
Yep.
Well, you never know.
No, their government is already controlled by the Somalis.
No, I know, but the thing is if they decide to get super stupid, there's a lot of people in this country that
The people in the city might, but he's talking about the government of Minneapolis.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
They're fucked.
Yep. See, Cliff 3188 coming back again here with $5. Why do you think in more recent years our politicians, businesses, elites, and their families have dual citizenry? When the collapse happens, they have a place to flee to.
Yeah.
Lest they become heads on pikes.
Yes. Yeah, they're hedging their bets against that happening, but they do have an out. It's part of their PACE plan. How about that?
Yep.
The American president needs to be a naturally born American citizen, and that should go for everyone in Congress. You should not have dual citizenship, nor
Correct.
should you say
Been around long enough that at the township level, you should be a citizen, and your family should be citizens for 2 full generations minimum.
Yep.
Country's been around long enough that can be established.
Yeah.
Yep.
No more foreign anything in any office in the United States of America, period. 2 generations minimum.
Yep.
I could combine that.
If that happens, you get a certain Somalian woman that, oh, well, the American U.S. government saved me, and now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to completely fucking shit on every single American value.
Yep.
Guess which area I'm talking about. Take your pick.
Gotcha.
Let's see. Digital Dude coming in here with $2. Says, I just wanted to warn you ET chicks are abducting guys with big dicks, so you don't have to worry about this. Spaceship is fucking cool. Pop, get your mail. How's Mama Pop? My aunt is still in a coma.
She's still in the hospital, so they're giving her 1 or 2 units of blood tonight. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, prayers sending to both Mama Pop and Digital Dude's aunt there. I know Mama Pop has had quite a good run, but that's what it is. See,
it is what it is.
Yep. Let's see. Digital Dude coming back again. Pop, what books are on your bookshelf next to you? Pop's top 10 books for riggers to read. That should be the next top 10.
I got Where Did the Towers Go? Von Goebel, Freedom Forge, and Marxist General. Right here. Got a bunch of other books across the way, plus my Dungeon and Dragon books.
Yeah.
Fucking nerd.
I know. I'm cool with it.
Hey, man, it's cool. See, Mando coming back here. I keep expecting to wake up to the news that a multi-story mushroom is growing over a former city.
Yeah,
that scares me.
Can resonate with that.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's going to be a major city and not going to be good. Mando again here says nuclear war is not the way anyone wants to get flashed.
No, that's a true story.
Yeah. But then again, if you're a certain special someone, your shadow will be permanently etched into the sidewalk.
That's fair.
That does happen.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yep.
International House Whoop Ass. There's another favorite screen name of mine. Says the best way to get rid of Northcom would be a water nuke and let a tsunami wipe it out. Also, you bomb NYC, you don't lose much. Hell, they'll be doing us a favor.
It's not entirely a bad point at all.
I can't argue with that.
we don't condone it, but we understand.
Correct.
That's right. Whatever you do, Putin, don't nuke DC.
Please.
Yeah, please. That'd be totally a shame if that were to happen. Oh no.
We're so going to get raided by Secret Service.
We're just fucking around.
Yeah, I know.
And we don't have people watching this show to be a threat to anyone.
That and I lost Putin's number like 50 years ago. So
fair enough.
There you go. See, Sarku coming back again. Generals gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses.
Yeah, there is.
I love that song.
Destruction, sorcerers, death, construction, war pigs. Good song.
Yeah, I like that song.
Good song. See, and Mando coming back again. You should add in the Fallout projections if you want real nightmare fuel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well. You know what? This is already horrible enough to think about as it is. And I don't need to add any more frosting to the horror. I think I'm good with just the horror cake.
For a good description of the Fallout, watch the movie Black Rain, where Michael Douglas plays an American detective in Japan going after the Yakuza.
Uh-huh.
One of the old Yakuza guys talks about the Fallout
Yeah, I've seen that movie. It's pretty good.
extensively. Yeah.
Oh boy. Let's see. Frank Rizzo 1, he's dropping a $50 note and he says, "Thank you very much, good sir." Well, to you, we say thank you.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Sweet nectar. It's awesome.
you go.
Thank you.
Seriously.
We got Bubix says for $3 says, "Shut up and take my money. Don't spend it all in one place."
All right.
That $3 will buy Pop a shot. There you go.
There you go.
Yep. Oh, and Sarku is asking Aunt Quifa. That's what I call Aunt Tifa.
Huh.
That's fair.
Yep, Aunt Quifa, because they're full of old raggedy hags that smell like old vaginal juice.
One of my favorite Aunt Quifa moments was when Moldy Locks got punched in the head by some MMA guy.
Moldy Locks.
She was a female Antifa chick who threw a bunch of punches at some big,
Oh, yeah.
obviously huge MMA looking guy. And he took like the first 5 or 6 punches, and finally he's like, nah.
Bonk. There you go. And Sarku coming back again. He says, "Water volleyball hooligans."
Water volleyball hooligans.
Volleyball. There we go. And Sarku again, he says, "Give your enemies to fight each other to the point of exhaustion, and then send in your army into the field to wipe them out."
Yeah, that is a Sun Tzu trick.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I was actually just about right. I was going to say that sparked something. That sounds like something Sun Tzu would say. And let's see. Oh, there's our first request from Alucard 1776 tonight. Can we get a guess of what it is, gentlemen?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
It's going to be that.
Any guesses? Any guesses? You're both wrong.
I think the funniest thing about that video is how well your face
I know.
fits that body. That's
God damn.
very, very creepy.
It is creepy.
It's very creepy.
That's not a good day.
No. Next one here, we got Sarku coming back again. He says, "When the shit hits the fan in the urban centers, the value of materials and objects will change overnight."
Yes.
Yes, that is absolutely correct.
Yes.
You would be surprised what someone would do for a pack of cigarettes.
Yep. That is correct. Also.
Correct.
Yep. And Mando is coming in. He says, "We all know what Pop did in Vegas." I know, because I was there.
Ruh-roh.
I didn't do anything bad. I ate a lot of food.
About to say you probably ate your way through a Krispy Kreme.
I ate a lot of food and I talked a lot of shit. That's about it.
That's fantastic.
Let's see. Single for Life. He's also got himself a request here. Let's see here. Where's it at? There it is.
You might be the whitest white boy I have ever seen.
I have no rhythm. I got it.
You haven't seen me, Steve. So
Wow.
that's pretty bad.
That's why I was a pressure fighter when I fought. I did not have rhythm. I just walked at you.
Yeah. That works though.
Yeah.
That works though.
Yeah, take 5 shots to deliver 2.
Yeah.
There you go. Let's see, got M Tyler 11 here with he's dropping a $50 donation here. Let me see.
Damn, thank you
Scroll
so
back
much.
up.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Let's see. He does say he is correcting me. I don't know if this is true or not. Everyone can fact check me or not. He says, "Button Monkey, Greater Idaho only needs to get through Oregon and Idaho to agree the redrawing of the state boundaries. Congress has no say on where boundaries are or borders are drawn."
All right. And if
That's correct.
If the people in Oregon just say, go fuck yourself, we're not going along with this, what are they going to fucking do?
Where do you find that precedent law? The Louisiana Purchase, where the territory that was the Louisiana Purchase was broken up into several smaller states.
Yeah.
That's where that comes from, and he's correct.
Yes.
Okay. So I was wrong on that. I've heard like 30 different stories about the whole Greater Idaho thing, so I don't know what is actual fact and what is. So thank you for correcting me on that one.
That's okay. It's all right.
Let's see. Digital Dude coming in here with $2 says, ask Steve to set up a Proton Mail account. I want to run a few scenarios by him. What's Steve's opinion on NSA requirements to have internet access? They call it zero trust, no VPNs, etc.
Oh, gosh, to be honest, I'm out of the loop on a lot of that stuff. I worked that packet 20 years ago when the internet was in its infancy, and I was an analog guy. So I'll happily have that conversation. Throw a pop to email over here.
Yeah, and I'll
throw an email to Pop, and he'll forward it to me.
Redonkulas12@gmail.com.
Yep.
There you go. Tantalum 180 is coming back. Don't worry, he's not making a request. Says, I could agree the two previous generations for sure. I was hoping for at least the first gen, even though both would negate my own birthright citizenship. I can still easily pass the test on civics any day.
Yeah. You're in a small minority these days, my friend.
Yep. Let's see. Susan McCarley, she's coming in here with $5. Says, dancing with tears in my eyes. Are you dancing with Pop on the gay cruise?
No, come on. Don't do that.
Oh, the imagery.
You killed
Nightmare fuel. Tantalum 180 is coming back again. He says, part 2, he says, my mother's side has been here since the 1600s.
Wow.
And my father came here maybe from the 80s, from PR.
1600s.
Puerto Rico counts.
Puerto Rico. There you go. That's what I was thinking of.
I've known quite a few Puerto Ricans in my day, and alongside of the macheteros, the Puerto Ricans are pretty good people.
Yeah. Yep. They have an anger problem, but
they do have an anger.
That's why I put them at the top of the ethnic anger scale comedy scale.
I dated a Puerto Rican girl in high school. They have anger issues.
Yes, they do.
Among other, they have anger issues.
Yeah,
we'll leave it at
cheese balances.
Anyway,
all right. Sorry.
They call it Latino heat for a reason. Shout out to Eddie Guerrero. Finishes it off here. Even so, I would love to see the reforms. Yep. See, Sarku coming back in. He says, horror cake. Try waking up in the morning with a dead alien implanter next to your bed.
That sounds bad.
Sounds really bad.
He's talking about the face hugger from Alien.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll terrify you.
That's beyond coyote ugly. That's where
I had thought of that when I was in the Army. You could get the face hugger like rubber thing.
Yeah.
Sneak into a guy's fucking bunk and put that next to his head for him to wake up next to in the morning.
Yeah.
Cool.
I used to do that.
Yeah.
In Iraq, we had the big rubber spider, and I would put it on people.
Yeah.
When they'd be asleep, like, hey, man, hey, watch out.
Army guys are dicks.
Yeah, I know. It was fun.
Anyway, carry on.
Ali Card, he's coming back with another request. Can we, guys want to give another guess?
Oh, no.
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 Make the pain stop.
Just do it.
Just do it. Rip it off.
Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square. Stop.
Comedy gold right there.
Make the pain stop.
See, that one wasn't too bad.
That's not too bad.
Nope. See, LB Weaver coming in with $5. I read an article about Julia Lousy Dried Pussy saying political correctness is, quote, fantastic and would be good for comedy. So full of it.
What? I mean, I understood every word that came out of your mouth, but how cranial is her rectal inversion?
She's probably destroyed her downstairs mix-up with battery-operated boyfriends that are dishwasher safe, that it's gone to her brain.
Chainsaw Bob.
The nerve ending that was going from her head to her vagina has been snapped. So I'm pretty sure that's what happened there.
Wow.
Sarku coming back in. Most things people believe about the world are lies.
Correct.
Yep.
Sadly, that's true.
Yep.
Let's
see.
Thought it was a thing.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yep. Single for life. He's asking, Steve, how do you store your rendered fat?
Oh gosh, you're talking about lard or tallow. I keep a tub of lard in the kitchen in a sealed jar alongside of the bacon grease, and I just keep tallow wrapped in a cloth in the refrigerator.
Yeah, tallow doesn't really go bad that
No.
quickly.
Nope.
No, they're remarkably stable things.
Absolutely.
They just have to be clean. They have to be rendered clean.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Anyway,
sorry.
And they say animal fat is bad for you. Yeah,
of course they say that, which
Fuck
means
them.
it's good for you. Anything they say is bad for you, you should probably be eating.
Listen, if you make it to 50, just fucking eat whatever you fucking want. You're going to be fine because at some point you're going to die anyway.
True story.
There you go. And Mando, he's saying, I bleach, Jimmy. At my discretion.
Oh.
Well, you know what? We haven't had this one yet tonight. So.
That's the blue dildo of death.
So it is.
Yep. I was. My finger was twitching over a different one, but I figured I'll be nice to the guys tonight.
All right. Thanks.
One evening.
There you go. Susan McCarley with two $5 in a row. She says that song was about nukes.
Okay.
Which song?
I don't know.
That song was about nukes?
I don't know. Did we play a song that had about nukes?
No, we didn't play any songs. Not sure.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
She says Ultravox is her second one.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I think I know what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
That was what, 99 Luftballons? Did they?
No, that's Nina.
It's Nina?
Mm-hmm.
And she made that song, made a bunch of money, and became a news reporter in Germany.
Something like that.
Yeah. How do I know that? I have no idea.
Not a bad song. I like it.
Yeah.
See, M. Tyler coming back again with another $50 donation.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Thank you so much.
Seriously.
Again, this one's aimed towards me. Button Monkey. Want to have some real fun? Look into the greater Idaho Plains that adds to the Northern California. And those counties want to be part of Idaho too.
Nice.
Heard about that. Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. I've heard that too. See, Sarku coming back again with $2. My parental grandfather was shot and gassed in the trenches of France. I think my family has earned the right to serve in the government.
I'm gonna say that earned him his right to serve. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We got another one from Susie McCarley. She's saying "Dancing with Tears in My Eyes" is that song. She was naming a song with "Dancing with Tears in My Eyes."
I see. Okay, from Ultravox. Got it. I thought she was dancing with tears in her eyes when Pop was doing the.
Eat it, dick. Man.
Okay. There we go. Got that cleared up. LB Weaver here with $3. He says, yeah, I was shocked when I read that. I never thought Elaine would sell out like that. Let's see. Next one here got Shellback Stunts with $20. Says, cheers all. I'm just finishing work. Looking forward to the replay. Here's a little love for the show. No
Thank
homo.
you so much.
Hoorah. Shellback. I know what that is.
Oh, yeah, there we go. And yep, and there's that chat from Suze, Dancing with Tears in My Eyes. That song. Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
There you go. All right, let me see here. Jumping back over to YouTube, because I did see we had a couple more jump in here.
We did?
Yes.
Oh, yes, we did.
Yep. Let's see here. Let's see. Dylan Sharding coming back again, 999, says, dancing and creating music for Pop right now.
Rut-row.
Oh, no. No.
Rut-row Raggy. And I've got John Galt with $5 Canadian. Thank you very much there, good sir. Hopefully things work out up there for you. It says long-term storage of fats can be done with a pressure canner.
You can also do it that way, and they will last for years, yes, but I tend to go through mine enough that I don't have
You know
to
what
do
we
that.
should put together is a whole bunch of pemmican
Okay.
because we
Yeah.
might need that.
Okay.
And pemmican is the easiest thing you can make, and it lasts for years.
I have
And it is
to make
and it
that.
is packed with calories.
Correct.
Let's see here. We'll jump over here to Odyssey here. We got a couple chats over here. We got oh boy, I need to jump. I need to pop the chat out to read this one because it's a long screen name here. We got let's see here. Big Mike's raging rectum wrecking purple-headed prostate puncher.
God damn it. Damn. All right.
It says Battle Hobbit. Have you listened to the Martyr Maid podcast? I recommend
Battle Hobbit. I have not listened to the Martyr Maid.
Yep, Martyr Maid podcast. He says I recommend Anti-Humans.
Okay.
He's a battle dwarf, not a hobbit.
All right.
Hobbits are 5 inches shorter.
That's what she said.
All right. Sorry.
No comment because I don't want to get pop sued. Slowly go insane here. He says, what are your thoughts on using gummies to fall asleep?
I use them every night.
Yep. Do you start getting dependent? Do they start accumulating in your system and make you dumb?
Yes. To all three. So I space it out. I'd usually take a couple days off here and there.
Yeah, okay.
Just to give my body ability to clear it out.
Yeah, there was I think a couple months ago or like last month, I was having trouble falling asleep, but because I get piss tested randomly at work, I just went and grabbed the regular melatonin gummies. Take 2 of those, and they say chew them up. I let them dissolve in my mouth. I fall asleep within 10 minutes of hitting that pillow. So just those nature-made melatonin gummies, strawberry flavored, pretty good.
Throw a couple Benadryl in there, you'll sleep really good.
Oh yeah, we'll sleep really good. All right, let's see here. Oh, it's Mungo Harry here. Let's see here. Have you guys ever seen a vegetarian bukkake?
I don't want to see that.
Well, we're going to see one. $25 more carrot.
I saw that one actually.
That's pretty good.
Before I even looked up, I'm like, oh, here come the shredders.
So there you go. There's a vegetarian bukkake for you.
I'm so getting a walkthrough on that one, man.
That's terrible. Terrible. Let's see. Crazy Uncle here with $10. I have to get some work done tonight, but here's 10 for the slush fund.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Because it will help you get sloshed. Absolutely. Dark Mad Dog 21 here with $5. Battle Dwarf, you were wrong about one thing.
What's
Stormy Daniels is not some random Kuanta. 4chan did a dive on her on Keith Rainier and found the founder of Nixum or something, or however the hell you say that, and actually found that Stormy Daniels has a brand of KR on her. Other people have also being part of that blackmail cult. Others, other than that, do you think the U.S. will fall like the Soviet Union or China will fall first, since they are lacking food and all the men sent to the U.S. are a huge loss if they die because of lack of children?
Stormy Daniels thing, very interesting. The
China has been
US
teetering on the edge forever.
Yeah, China's been teetering for some time.
So they're used to that.
They've managed to prop themselves up pretty well. I think we're going to see the federal government in the United States come off the rails.
Yes, and it'll have to be reorganized. And that'll be a bloody process.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people up there that do not want to come off power.
Yep.
You have to force them.
But somehow we keep voting in 60, 70, and 80-year-olds when the approval rating of Congress has not been in the double digits for
quite some time, yes.
Quite some time. Yeah. I'm pretty sure gonorrhea has a higher approval rating than Congress.
That's correct. Carry on.
Let's see. Last one over here on MGTOW. Mountain 9395 says the movie Hotel Rwanda, starring Don Cheadle, really goes into what happened in May to June 1994 in Rwanda.
Yes,
Yes.
that is correct.
Listen, I saw that movie and it made me. I was disgusted.
I remember watching that movie in high school as a history lesson.
Yep.
You were in high school then?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't remember what grade I was in, but I specifically remember watching the movie Hotel Rwanda, and I'm like, this is some fucked up shit.
It is.
That's crazy.
Goddamn.
You guys have to join the MGTOW.tv because the chat is amazing.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, carry on.
Is it? All right, let's see here. We got. Oh, I'm not doing a head count over here. God damn it, I'm fucking up. We got 803 over on Rumble over there. Over on Odyssey, we got 29 there. Over on MGTOW, sharing all of the best taps. That would be the Tatas, Asa, and Pusa with 33 viewers.
All right.
And we'll jump over here to D Live, where we got no new lemons tonight, but we got 11 viewers over there. And over on Twitch, we got 8.
All right. Not bad.
So,
We got to
alrighty,
start
let me-
bringing it. We got the blue check mark on Twitter, so we're gonna have to figure that out.
Yeah.
Yep. That should be pretty easy to go. So let me jump over to emails here for the Cash Apps.
2 new rumbles
And-
over here, by the way.
Oh, we got 2 new rumbles here. Let me jump over there real fast there. Let's see. LB Weaver. In fact, there's a lot of shit I thought would never happen here, but I wish I could put up a nice butt there. I don't have the technology. The Sarku coming back again. James Burka, Connections, BBC 1978.
Have to take a look.
Yeah, we got to get you leveled up, Jimmy, so you can do the butts.
There you go. We'll get there.
Start the butts right around 6th level.
There you
Right
go.
now, 3rd level.
Yeah.
It's okay. It'll happen with time.
It'll happen. See, Raynard 69. Nice. It says, hobbits are to dwarves what elves are to human.
I don't know what that means, but I think you're wrong.
Well, ask the D&D dork over there. He'll tell you.
Okay.
Hey, Jimmy. I'm a D&D dork too, dude.
I'm surrounded.
I actually have more D&D books on my shelf than Pop does.
Yes, he does.
Uh,
I believe you have the old classic deities and demigods.
I do.
What that has the
With the
Cthulhu.
and the
You
Fafnir the
fucking
Great
bastard.
Mountains. Yeah.
All right, sorry. Went off topic.
surrounded by dorks here, man. Damn it. See, Sarku coming back in. He says, Grand Theft Auto 5, therapy for men in a confused society.
Yeah.
And Sarku again, U.S. Senator Gunnery. No.
All right. And I also want to mention the first Cash App we got today was from Crusader Nate for $100. So if we
Yep.
give him,
I
we're
was
not
just,
waiting.
just about ready to read those. It says, his note was, for because some of us give a damn. Thanks, Battle Dwarf.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Crusader Nate. And this one's for you.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Outstanding.
Had a premature click there. Sorry.
It's okay.
Happens to the best of us. All right, let's see here. Got Tony. He sent in $10. No note on that one. Thank you very much, there, guys. Again, if you guys do want to send in a note for your Cash App, before you click send, there is an option to add a note. So just so that you guys know, let's see. Next one we got Paul. He sent in $20. Says see email from that address already. I will make sure. Let's see here. Yep, here it is. It says, hey Pop, Battle Dwarf and Shaggy. Trying to help my cousin upgrade his discharge. Phrasing.
Send me an email to redonkulas12@gmail.com
Yep. It
Yeah.
says, yeah, this was
We need
quick.
to know the
read.
circumstances.
Yeah, and just let me know the circumstances. Like if he was a super ass douchebag and got a dishonorable, it's hard to come back from that. But if
Nope,
he got
he's-
a less than honorable, you can upgrade that. There's procedures in place.
Yep. He's actually he actually sent in a there's some details into that email pop. I will see here. Let me
Just
find
send
it.
that over to us. We'll look at it.
Find that again. I got that starred for you, Pop.
All right, good.
So there you go.
And unread it too.
Let's see here. Where's he at?
Yeah, I know how to do the whole military board for correction of records thing.
Actually, I clicked that as important. So it's starred and got the double there.
All right,
There
cool,
you go,
cool.
Pop. Let's see, I'll move on to the next one here. We got Eugene. He sent in $10. There you go. It says for email Moringa. Let's see. Let me look here.
I have this Cash App Moringa right here.
Oh, yep, there he is.
Yeah.
Because I took a class with the local beekeeper, and he went off on an extended sidebar about using moringa as a supplement and claimed it would restore his vision. Do you know anything about this supplement and what you would use it for?
Do not know, but now I want to know.
I've actually, I think I have that upstairs. But I don't
What's it
recall.
called?
Moringa.
How do you spell that?
Moringa.
I know who to ask. I know a
Yep.
mountain witch in
The
Montana.
mountain witch?
Yeah, I'll call the mountain witch.
All right, cool.
There you go. All righty. That looks like that covers all the cash apps here. Let me jump back through all the other chats here. Make sure we're not missing anything.
One more.
Let's see. Oh, Rumble's got one more. All right. Let me chat here. Scroll down. Let's see. We got Sarku with $2. Eldritch Wizardry.
I believe I know what he's referring to.
Eldritch Wizardry.
It's a role playing thing.
Oh, okay. I never heard of it.
More dork shit.
More
It's a-
dork shit.
Hey, look, man, that shit's great.
Hey, man, I like dorks.
I'm
I got a few.
55 years old, and I still have an imagination. Most of the guys my age are they're just dumb.
Yeah.
Can't really think.
Yep.
You know, it's
you
really is.
They're
sad.
NPCs.
It's sad.
Yeah, they're NPCs.
Yep. All
I
right.
got
Let's
the
see here.
first D&D box set in 1978 for Christmas and never looked back.
Morning. There you go. All right, we'll do a head count here. We got 510 viewers on YouTube here, and we actually got more likes than viewers.
Wow, excellent.
Some folks must have jumped over to Rumble here. We got 777, the lucky number over on Rumble there. See, Odyssey, we're rocking 28 over there. And MGTOW.TV, the best chat on the internet. Holy smoking pointy boobies over there.
Yeah.
Scroll down 2 chats. You get yourself some pointy boobies and full bush there, guys. So
Yeah.
if that's your thing, MGTOW.TV, we got 34 rocking over there. And D Live has got 13. And Twitch, again, hey, we went up 2 numbers. We got 10 over on Twitch.
All right.
There you go.
I think that wraps it up for the rest of the night. So I guess, Pop, we're ready for Tuesday Safety Briefing.
All right, everybody. Don't drink and drive. Don't drink and swim. It's not going to work out. Rack up, pack up, and stack up their safety in numbers and maintain your situational awareness. And if you have to fight, don't go to the ground because that's where you get stomped out. I'm sick of burying you people, so stop making permanent solutions to temporary goddamn problems. Learn how to play the long game. Learn how to ball up your fist and stay in the fucking fight. There you go.
All right. Any words from the Battle Dwarf?
Yeah,
Final words.
And he's got nothing at this time.
Nothing at this time. All righty. Well, I too have nothing to say at this time. So, well, we all know what to do.
Take it
Well, I
easy.
guess see you on Thursday.
Yeah.
Can't do it!